Ho 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 ho. Huh. You're missing out on the new Factorio content 2.1. It is in beta. I thought they launched that. Maybe I'll grab the beta once I finish this.
You're already the beta.
No crafted parts achievement.
Sorry.
Good.
I was about to take a bath. Thank God you went live.
Yes, now you can never, ever clean yourself.
Well, it wasn't about to clean. It was more about to have something where to chill and feel. And feel something, you know?
Wow.
I just watched The Mandalorian and Grogu. 2 out of 5. Not good.
The Mandalorian and Gringo? What?
Grogu.
Oh. What is that, like
Not
a movie
good.
or?
Yeah, it's a new Star Wars movie.
They're making Mandalorian movies now?
Yeah.
What is the Mandalorian again? Is that the Boba Fett race?
Yeah. Well, Boba Fett wasn't a Mandalorian, but kinda, yeah.
Wait, was he like an outsider or something, or?
I think his dad, Jango Fett, just stole the armor, if I recall correctly, but Mandalorians are literally like a warrior race. He was a poser, but the Mandalorian, he's like a real one who follows the way. But it was fine. I mean, 2 out of 5 for a Star Wars movie, that's in the upper half.
Upper half? For Star Wars movies? Probably, yeah. Okay. Quick Shervine check. Is he alive?
Oh, he will be. He's always alive. Trevine?
Dude, some of the old Justical tweets are really funny. We need an archive of these so we can just start quote tweeting Justical tweets with his old
he hasn't
tweets.
Deleted them.
Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't.
Oh, wait. These Hasan fans lack basic humanity? Hold on. I got to quote tweet that.
Yeah? I mean, he's also like, he's got like the whole justifying Israel's existence and shit.
That's based. He used to be based. What happened? Oh, he grew.
Destiny. I've never called for genocide. I said in the past that it seemed like the conflict will never end until one side eliminates the other. And if that were the case, honestly, I'd prefer Israel to win over the Arabs. My ideal policy would be a two-state solution, but I'm not sure either side has the appetite for it at the moment. Gistical. It's sad to say it, but at least the Arabs have somewhere to flee to. What happened? Wait, did Justical actually win DGGer of the Year? Or was he just... How can Hasan make fun of me controlling all of LSF with Stale when his biggest warrior is a fucking DGGer of the... like an actual DGGer of the Year? Is that kind of crazy?
What do you want me to say, man?
I want you to say thank you, sir.
Thank you. Oh, B44 wants you to look at the links that he sent me to send you.
Damn, knowing better YouTube. At this point, there's really no difference between DSA Dems and the Tea Party or Freedom Caucus, straight up lying about their own party members and not caring when they're corrected. Sheesh! Sheesh! Sheesh!
I need a new game to play while I'm chilling.
Oh fuck, we didn't finish this. What is the what do you normally play?
Games like Vampire Survivors, roguelikes.
Well. Okay, where are my... Jesus. All these streamables, holy shit.
Address those allegations directly, Darius.
Oh boy, just go hate watching.
Charge green.
Aren't I already?
Nope.
No, no, no. That's what you sound like. No.
True.
Shut up.
Ain't alive.
Oh, he was watching our panel.
What about Destiny, though?
That's me.
Destiny is a disgusting sex pervert who violates women's consent, who violates all of his sexual who violates both genders of sexual partners' consent. He's a
Did he just imply there are only two genders?
disgusting freak, for one. That would be enough reason on its own. But he has also explicitly suggested that Hasan should be killed. He's explicitly suggested that Hasan...
How do you... I'm just trying to think of that. Isn't that phrase an oxymoron? Explicitly suggest?
should be tracked. His location should be public at all times while he's IRL streaming. When somebody did that to Destiny one time when he was at a college event, he doxed them and said they were trying to get him killed. So that's why Destiny shouldn't be allowed in, or anybody associated with him. I wouldn't want any of this weird sex cult around me. I don't know. Oh, who would ever opt in for that?
So, to be clear, my issue was a person who was offering money for somebody to go to a future time and date where I was supposed to be and throw shit at me, okay? Just to be clear. Not quite the same thing, but...
fucking gross.
Address those...
Also, if Hasan really wants to, he can dox me too, okay? There you go. Turnabout's fair play. There you go, Gisticle.
It's fair's fair.
Oh, true. If there is a DGG sex cult, then Gisticle's literally a beneficiary. Absolutely true.
I don't know for that, but oh my
Holy shit.
god, it was so fucking sad. I felt so bad for that dude.
Let me guess, all of them are Zionists. No, I don't think so. I don't think they have an ideological commitment to Destiny being able to violate the consent of as many women as possible. They don't have an ideological commitment to Israel. Destiny has more of a commitment to Israel than they do. But because, downstream of their ideological...
Okay. I can say these things, actually, because it doesn't really matter, I guess, because they never, do anything on it anyway. One of the things that's funny about these types of movements that become so unhinged is that because they're so cultish and ideologically committed, there's like a brittle thing will hold its form better than a flexible thing, but the brittle thing will break before the flexible thing, right? So these guys they'll engage in these like campaigns of like certain styles of attacks or hatred towards me or whatever, and they can maintain it a lot. They can maintain the talking points, but because they're so like singularly devoted to this idea of my destruction, they lose any kind of self-corrective mechanism to actually update the way that they're attacking in a way that makes sense. Like, this guy's been calling me a rapist for a year. Like, who listens to like, holy shit, Destiny violates the... Like, at least Hasan has funny nicknames for me.
Destiny violate consent or violate women.
Like, what are these people on this panel? Whether they're rape assisters, I guess. Okay, all right.
And in general, they will defend Israel. Oh, sorry. It's a lot. It's a mouthful.
Jesus. Wait, I missed. Did North mention that like there were people like literally... I don't have a video for that, but... negative comments, and to what extent... And...
J-Stock, watch us do fucking karaoke. That's not all. I'm going to watch you litigate your stupid fucking gangbang, too. It will be funny.
Can you elaborate?
I know. It is funny. Because we make good content. That's the difference between me and you. You're the watcher, and we're the doer. See the
Sit in
pattern
the
there?
cuck chair, boy.
Correct. You are the parasite that hangs off of our nuts, and you slurp whatever comes your way. And you know what? I'm happy for you. Well,
You're
literally
welcome.
and figuratively.
On what those are into like the I guess the intensity of it or not.
Intense. Convert and edit, share, direct. One of these is going to be a fucking not okay.
That's how they're gonna get you.
Oh, it's a longer video. Uh-oh.
Queen made fun of my Attack on Titan shirt. Queen made fun of my Attack on Titan shirt, my tight pants. Dude, we did a little session last night laughing at their karaoke, and it wasn't even laughing at them that much. It's like, dude, it's like the lightest criticism. It's like having fun and watching, man. It's just we're all having fun. Why can't we have our fun?
You know what I get fun in?
Saying
What?
I gotta DM it to you. Hold on.
anything crazy. Anyway,
True.
we just keep watching, man.
I literally cannot mention it because it's like it's gonna.
It's like a privacy concern to even talk
Oh,
about it.
fair
yeah.
enough. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
There's also
kinda
just like a
weird.
huge string of like really gross sexual comments that are just flowing through. I think
Oh,
just
yeah.
over. They
Yeah,
haven't all
besides
day.
appearance,
Did you see that about Mooks? Mooks is getting absolutely rabid.
Oh.
It's just
Mooks,
weird when like Cherry's.
You don't be specific, but also like for Stardust gets like a lot of like weird, disgusting comments as well. And then
Did we say anything bad about Mooks? I'm sorry. Stardust doesn't get to hide on this. Stardust has taken what she believes is a dox photo of me and made 100 comments about it. She does not get to go, oh, no, you can't say that about me. Fuck off.
What she believes.
well, that's not relevant. It's because you all do it. Like that's why. The retroactive justification for stuff, which is funny because they accuse me of doing this, is super cringe. Where they engage in like deplorable behavior, and then you smack them back on it, like, oh well, how can you criticize us now because you guys are doing the same thing? And it's like, no, we're doing it in response to you. You guys are just doing it unprompted to us.
I'm literally just feeding the same shit back. She's a stupid bitch. I'm sorry. I know it's misogynistic. You wanna take
Yes,
what you think
embrace
is a
your
dox photo
roots.
of me that this guy has posted, okay? And you want to try to call me fat? Well, yeah, it's gonna come back to you. I thought Stardust was on this whole like weight loss thing, and she'd lost a whole bunch of weight, and that's why she was talking shit. And she shows up looking like how she looked. Yeah, I'm gonna make a comment. Fuck you.
Okay. Fair. Because Jessica lost, what, like 110, 115 pounds recently, right?
What, IQ points?
Pounds. Or I think. How much did Cherry weigh?
Sorry. Sorry. I don't think you have any right to hide now. And by the way, I tried very hard not to mock her for that shit. Okay? I tried very hard back in the day not to mock her in the same way Queeman did or a bunch of other people did. And she just went, well, you talked to Queeman and that's why you make fun of me. I didn't do that. I didn't do that at all. I didn't think she deserved that. And then she started doing it to me when she thought I got doxxed. Stupid. Ugh. Ah.
And yeah, for Kyla too. I think they refer to it as rape meat constantly over and over again. That Officer Nasty guy is like dropping so many weird, disgusting comments, and yeah, they're all just kind of like, yeah. Yeah, true. Also, the comments were not about her weight. They were about her tits. But I mean, like, maybe logistical, it's all the same. I guess when you're that fat, they all kind of blend together. I don't know.
Did Officer Nasty call this person? This person wasn't called rape meat. That was Lucas J. Synthead.
Maybe when he looks down, he doesn't know the difference, where one starts and one ends. I'm just kidding. We love our big boy Jistical here, okay?
Well-known spicy chatter, by the way, just so you know. Well-known spicy chatter, well-known hater.
Who? Yeah, wait.
Did Officer Nasty call this person? This person wasn't called rape meat. That was Lucas J. Synthead. Well-known spicy chatter, by the way, just so you know. Well-known spicy chatter, well-known hater. Absolutely disgusting fucking hater. Said some terrible things about me. Okay? Fuck this guy.
Epic.
But I believe that was the guy that said this person, sadly, and by the way, that wasn't even a comment about her, although I understand how she feels objectified. The comment was, sadly, this person is future rape meat for Destiny, implying
That's a crazy noun that they've got there.
Rape meat?
Yes. Do you think Jistical is just grifting to appease your anti-fans and maybe Hasan fans? Or do you think he has truly drank the Kool-Aid? I am definitely biased towards you, but he just seems completely delusional and unhinged. No, they know what they're doing. Like, in 12 years, once my court case ends and I can do my big video on it, like, you'll see there is a ton of intentionality behind how all of these spaces work. None of this is like by accident, or none of this they just happen to say these things or whatever. It's all like very, very, very intentional for how all of it functions. Yeah, fuck, I was gonna say something else, but yeah.
That Destiny violates people for Destiny, implying that
What distinction was he just trying to make? We didn't call her rape meat. We just meant that she'd be raped by Destiny. Well, no, they call the reason why they. I guess at the end of the day, you know how there's like that one saying, "It's the economy, stupid." For my anti-fans, it's Mr. Girl, stupid. It all comes back to this weird obsessive narrative they have that I'm like singularly committed to just sexually abusing every single person in my life, and I'm just like obsessively trying to create, I guess, like organizations to facilitate that. Like, this sounds ridiculous, but unironically, this is what they believe. So the reason why they're using terms like rape meat and everything is because they believe that this canvassing organization and all of the friend groups and everything I have, the reason why these things exist at all is just to facilitate more victims for me. So that's why everybody in this area is like rape meat, because they're just future victims. And then it's why they keep harping on this point that, like, why is a digital ground game okay with like providing me future victims, and it's the whole Ghislaine Maxwell thing from Kyla. It's just like, it's a crazy, ridiculously weird narrative that exists like only fictionally. Like, the only people that can make that they rest, we're not gonna really litigate all this shit, but it's like Lav and Anna, basically, one of whom is like one of the more abusive people I've ever met, and the other person who was my long-term stalker and abuser based queen.
Destiny violates people's consent, that he is has no concern for any woman's sexual consent.
Ever.
That person would, in the future, be violated, her consent would be violated by Destiny.
Meanwhile, his lead editor is actually a domestic abuser that beat the shit out of his mom and got arrested for it. Meanwhile, Justical was farming content from Cherry after committing her for suicidality against her will. Meanwhile, Saberssexual has harassed multiple women, like literally in the real world. Because it wasn't just the Rose girl. It was also Kelly Jean, and it was also that one girl from Darius' stream that he got the phone number and texted. Like, it's just so funny. The projection is insane.
Okay, that's what that comment means.
Yeah, even Stardust and
now, reminder: Destiny keeps saying Cameron Landon. Moot keeps saying Cameron Landon. Why do you guys say that with thousands of viewers? Why do you do that? And then me, with my Twitter account, apparently when I quote tweet David Pakman, quote tweet Unfuck America here, and say, what did I say? Was it evil? If liberals being blocked from entering were a policy for CDA, why would David have been invited in the first place? It's almost like banning Destiny had nothing to do with politics and everything to do with Destiny's abhorrent personal conduct towards the keynote speaker.
So the reason why we call it Cameron Landon is because Cameron Landon was the VP of the college Dems, who was the person who gave us his name and said that it was his decision to ban us from the event, and that the organizers and everything of the event stood by the decision. He said that on camera. Cameron said it on camera. He said, "This is our decision. My higher up agrees with me 100%. Right? Okay, well, if that's the person and that's who wants the accountability for it, then I think that there should be some accountability for it on his end. When you guys are name dropping me to people around me, nobody is mass brigading Cameron's LinkedIn. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. You guys are mass brigading all of David Pakman's platforms with the claim that he's like helping me sexually abuse people. It's not even remotely the same thing. Like, one of us is doing a call to action to bring awareness of a person because of a decision that they made that I think is political in nature, that I think was completely inappropriate given the company and everything else, and that I think is indefensible. You guys are just trying to call everybody a pedophile rapist. Like, it's not the same thing, bro.
Is this justical harassing? Is this me harassing? Am I harassing? Whiny little bitch, Destiny.
The fake laugh is so painful.
Eddie tweeted on Fuck America. Eddie tweeted on Fuck America. Eddie, make him stop. Eddie.
Like, Justical was in his little Snark Left server, Who's got the picture of that? It was like, guys, this is where you go to the YouTube channel, and this is how you click, and this is what you need to do to report him, guys, in order to, here's how to report his YouTube channel. The Sulfur girl, the Maiwan, the former porn star chick or whatever, was also doing the same thing, like telling people like, oh, guys, you have to click through here. This is what you have to click to report. I'm pretty sure that's his new girlfriend, by the way. That is his fucking head mod in his Discord. Okay, like, you do the same shit. The only difference is, well, one, we're not even spam reporting people's shit. Wait, what's wrong with me asking for the head of the org or whatever who's deciding to ban me from an event anyway? Do I not have the right to ask that? Is that like a bad thing? Like, I don't know. Okay. Good one, Chief.
Hey, please. Eddie, these chatters are mean. Eddie. Sorry, I can't get any higher with register there. I've done my best, okay? I've done my best. Brutal harassment. I'm guessing people who Deep Hackman trusts have lied to him about the circumstances here, leading to him taking a strong position without the facts. Unfortunate for him. Somebody asked me what I meant by unfortunate. I just meant, like, literally unfortunate that he's wrong. That he thinks it's just that he's going to describe it as a liberal creator being kicked out for, I think he says for no reason. Or because Hasan doesn't like him. It's like, no, that is not it. Abhorrent person.
Oh, yeah, these people are all... This was Officer Nasty. This is Sulfur, my wand, like going through like, oh, here's what the boxes you need to click. This is how you report them. My God.
So conduct, and it's an offline chat message. No, he doubled down on this. He doubled down on all of this stuff on his stream.
Have you personally reached out to Train at all about this stuff? Train is too vague. Train is a vague poster only. He never actually calls anybody out or does anything. He just pretends to and then vague posts.
He's literally doubled down on this stuff every single time. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Is that a death threat? Unfortunately, this has to happen to him. Yeah, it's actually really funny. It's sad. Because here's the thing. I'm like a drama streamer, right? I'm a drama streamer. So realistically, I get a bit of a pass. I'm not going to use it as a pass myself. But to the people around, they're going to go, oh, who's this guy? That you're like trying to lie about and embarrassing yourself over? I don't know. It's whatever. It's whatever. Now, reminder, Destiny keeps saying...
Oh, Jesus.
What up, bitches?
Well, hi. Oh, this whole thing was fucking retarded, I think. Holy shit. So Van Jones is the guy we've been watching who has kind of called out these like extreme leftists. They're kind of weird. Representative Josh Gottheimer. I'm glad to see other Democrats reiterating what I've been saying all along. The DSA are not Democrats, are socialists who want to hijack the Democratic Party. The Democrats have a big tent. That's our strength, who embrace a range of ideas, but there's no room for anti-American bomb throwers who oppose our ideas, values, and leaders. True. Quote, tweet. What about Dems who sign bombs and vote to drop them? From Representative Summer Lee. Ooh, different Josh.
She retarded?
Oh, she was mixing up with Josh Shapiro because he was signing the Ukrainian stuff. Yikes. You know that's the other Jewish guy named Josh, right? Oh, no. Oh, no. Wait. Fuck. Hold on. Is she from Pennsylvania? Oh no. Wait, how? What? Oh no. You know, that's the other Jewish guy named Josh, right? Yikes. He signed, oh, and then Ilhan Omar comes in. He signed the bombs you voted to be dropped. Hope this helps. Oh, but the bomb signing event referenced involved Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro signing munitions during an event with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky for Ukraine's defense against Russia. Ilhan, you know who else voted for it? You. Ukraine Security Supplemental Appropriations Act 2024. Omar, Democratic from Minnesota. Yay. Ooh.
Well, she probably had a good reason, right?
I'm sure.
Oh, he's tweeting.
No, not yet.
No,
Now,
he's
remind.
Oh, is that it?
plotting.
He's scheming.
He's scheming. Those are scheming. I can tell the difference between tweeting and scheming.
Ilhan Omar Mega L. Ilhan Omar is probably one of the more radical members of Congress. Her and Rashid Tlaib or whatever. Hold on. Two more.
I don't know why you guys act like you're talking about these issues. The biggest online leftist is making Dems look ridiculous. As an online creator, you should care about how people online view the party. Your audience already knows Trump's fascist. Dude, Hasan's terrible optics for our party, so you should let our consent violator be a part of the party. Hasan's really bad optics for the party, so you should let this guy who's accused of a bunch of sex crimes be the face. You should let him do it. He's the only one who can save democracy.
This is a good point. When because wasn't I demanding to be the speaker for like the big Democratic Party convention thing? I was like, you need to invite me as a keynote speaker. I need to stand next to all of these politicians that we canvass for. I need to be included in all the press releases. I need to take credit singularly for getting these people elected. I need to talk about how I have phone calls every night with my best friend, John Ossoff, when we talk about how cool he is and how important we were to getting him elected. Like, it's not even the same thing.
He's actually, the only people accusing him of any impropriety are MAGA snarkers.
It is true, actually. It is like a crazy socialist chick and a crazy MAGA chick. I mean, that's just factually correct. I'm sorry.
They're MAGA snarkers, okay? They're MAGA snarkers. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Imagine you were...
I don't know why you guys act like you're talking about these issues. The biggest online leftist is making Dems look...
Okay, two more.
Yeah, I don't think Michael Byer should be going on Twitter and saying, like, when's it going to happen to Steve? I don't think that's a good look.
Bayer, but yeah.
Bayer, sorry. Michael Bayer. Yeah, I don't think they should be doing that at all.
He is, he was, I did specifically invite him if...
Dude, it's actually so funny, man. I feel like this is, like, absolutely... Why do you try to escalate like this? Especially with Mike, why do you try to escalate? I don't actually understand. I don't know why.
I'm the one escalating when he's on Twitter saying, when's it going to happen?
Me personally, I get like really annoyed when Moot does this, and I think about it a little bit, right? I think about it in my head like, oh, I should like say this guy's name. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to escalate. I'm not going to even match their tactics. I don't want anything to do with where you guys want to go. You guys want to go and try to build your own sector where everybody doxes everybody and that becomes the regular.
So, just to be clear, because I know some people are new to this, in politics, most people already know everybody's name. That's just kind of called like being a normal person. Like people usually know like who each other are. Like we don't vote for like Deathstalker 666 or like, you know, Nade Fragger 420. Like we generally know each other's names or at least our faces. So I don't know, I don't understand the comparison there. Also, the reason why you particularly don't want to do it is because you already have your community to do it for you. And because you don't want to be tied to the insanely unhinged shit that you do. So.
I don't want to follow! Fuck that! Holy. I made you...
Didn't the FBI come to your house because Bayer implied... to his audience that he would pay $100,000. Yeah, I shouldn't have told them to. I shouldn't have told them it was nothing. I should have cried about it and made a big deal about it. I fucked up.
Pretty retarded of you.
It was. I fucked up. I missed my. That was my moment.
Well, you could probably try again, right? Because he just said that on Twitter.
Well, I didn't call him last time. I think somebody else alerted them because they came all on their own.
Well, no. But I'm saying like now this is the second time that he's talking about it, right? He could be saying
maybe,
when is it going to happen because he paid someone $100K. I mean, I have no idea.
True. Does Jessica defend Hasan doxing PV people? Yes.
Treat. Would you like to watch the treat? Maybe. I think I'm going to have to go over to Kick. Okay. We're gonna watch that little argument over the polycule or whatever, the weird sex freak.
Yeah, I don't think Michael Byers.
Yeah, when he says they need to go over to Kick, he might be referring to the fact that he's either on YouTube and he's about to do stuff that he can't because it's TOS, or he's on Twitch because he also is a streamer on Twitch, by the way. Crazy times.
Can't see what the context is. Fuck off.
Doesn't
Fuck
Twitch
off.
moderate off-platform stuff though?
Not against Destiny, no.
Gay-opping
That
loser.
makes sense.
Message more people.
Gay-opping loser.
Can't see what the context is. Fuck off. Fuck off. Gay-opping loser.
Who is?
Message more people.
Dan.
And
Why, though?
Dan, were you in the Finding Rose Discord channel where child porn was sent? And did you fail to report that child porn?
Oh.
I'm just asking for the sake. I just want to know for my own records. Were you
Going
in that
after
Discord
Dan?
group?
Not
Just to be
smart.
clear, like,
No. I had the
We have
best answer for
logs.
this morning. The best answer for this morning is that JStock himself, I don't want to give too much, but like he was going through the archive of Rose online
well, I mean-
on Twitter, and it's
yeah, not only that, but
you
I mean,
know-
like, Solo literally has messages with him telling him that he sent him child porn. Like, I mean, like, we've all seen those. Like, it's literally, now he denies it, and he says, oh, that's not true, no. But I mean, like he says it himself.
it would be pretty shitty if someone had proof of that for JStock, that he was on both ends, sending and receiving.
Well,
But we'll have to wait. It's a fucking court case, man.
Group. Dan, I've heard lots of things about this Discord group. If you're in it, I would just like to know who was the
You should have
person.
been submitting stuff to the record, Steve, in your court case like that. You should just be like, hold on, I just want to put these logs in the record of JStock sending...
Oh, just start saying random shit in the deposition?
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
so
it.
this came from my good friend, Jewstalker, known online as blah, 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 blah. Oh, shit. I'm not thinking, bro. You're right. You're right.
Told Destiny to take down that porn because it could be child porn. Very significant risk, right? We are concerned that that could be child porn. So censor the
concerned.
child porn and then repost it for us. Dan, if you know the answer to that question, if you were in that group chat, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I want to know. I'm not making any accusations, but I just want to know if Dan was in there. Was Dan in there? Wait, so what was Dispel doing? Let's see what the context is. Fuck off. Fuck off.
I like how the context is important all of a sudden now for this guy that was. This was the thing that happened last night with there's a guy named Dispel that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
That guy.
Oh yeah, I put it on my Twitter. So it's two separate instances. So the first one is the one with Owlish, where this guy is being quite cheeky about the fact that he has her information now, and then the second one is trying to messaging Duckbringer and saying, "Hey, fuck, I don't know the exact message. It's like, you got any snark on Mooks' husband?" And it's like, who the fuck is this guy? I fucking messaged him right away. I was, hey, what's going on, bro? And I started snarking this guy in fucking real time. I tried to get him to apologize to, I just kept, he wouldn't respond. I was like, hey, what's up? Do you want me to call you? I added him on LinkedIn, kept doing more stuff like that. It's like, what's the deal? What's going to go on? And I wanted him to apologize and tell me what the fuck, if he was actually involved in doxing these fucking people. But eventually he was like, you're harassing me, and signed the fuck off. These people are fucking actual fucking scum.
Yeah,
Literal,
they are.
literal scum.
Somebody said that's a super active Discord chatter. Is that true? The Dispel guy? If post a
let's
link
see.
or something of him in the Discord, like search his name or whatever, if that's true.
When they initially in China, I think it was like the nationalists as well, originally started dressing up in a more Western style. And this was like that first iteration of it. And when I went to China
God, he's such
in
a
Shanghai,
loser.
I met this tailor who
430
came from this long lineage who
results.
actually invented the Zhongshan suit. So I made them make me one, and I really liked it.
They made it in the time you were in China? Awesome.
They made it while I was there, yeah. But then I liked it so much, they already had my sizes, so I was like, send me another one.
This is going to be like the part of a U.S. Treasury Department investigation to Hasan Piker's
Yeah.
ties to China. His
Yeah.
suits.
Yeah. Are we? Do you want
is
to get
he
into
trying
that?
to get
We
out of calling this the Mao
Yes, he's
suit?
trying to say that
Oh.
it's like the Obama tan suit controversy.
Oh, I sent you a thing then earlier, didn't I? I did.
I thought you said Mehdi gave hard interviews.
Yes,
I
but not
definitely-
to not to super friendly people like him.
Oh yeah, right here. Look at this. I was ahead of the fucking curve. Here. Boom.
Yeah,
I
we
knew this
watched
was
all of
coming.
this. Yeah.
Oh well, shit.
That's okay. You knew before we did.
Into all of that.
We'll get into a lot of things
There's a
today.
lot going on that front.
Well, hold on. Is there a lot going on that front? Because last time you were on
Not
the
in my life.
podcast, you were on Beyond Israelism with Simone Zimmerman not too long ago.
Yeah.
It was shortly after Fox were talking about you being investigated by the Justice Department, apparently. Has anything come of that?
No.
Okay, good.
But I do think that there is a broader like RICO that they're trying to establish for the entire left movement and whatever they can like add on as different tentacles to it. So I haven't even received a subpoena from the Treasury Department, and that investigation seemingly has gone really nowhere. But I think the ultimate goal of that investigation, as I clocked early on, was not necessarily to come after people like myself. I think we're secondary. They just want to establish like a big racketeering case around probably Roy Singham.
This is one of the funders of Code Pink.
Yeah, he's just a centimillionaire who sold his company. He's a radical guy. Sold his company to Microsoft, made a lot of money, and then just
a centimillionaire.
moved to China. And he's been an activist for a very long time. I've never met the guy. I just knew of him.
Yeah.
And knew that he had fundraised a lot, or he'd funded a lot of political organizations that like helped him get started, and the American government doesn't like that at all.
I said this recently.
God, and so this is what happened, and I do think that.
Wait, what the fuck? They're just giving him Imgur links with like Destiny subreddit. Oh god, they're so lame, dude. They all work together. Him in public. Did he get recruited into Gryffindor? What is he trying to wear?
Yeah, because this is how Hasan gets all of his info. I mean, the difference is I'm open with my shit. Well, firstly, I get my shit from my YouTube editors. I don't give anything to fucking Asmongold. But I don't know why he wouldn't assume that Asmongold doesn't have a whole bunch of people that give him shit too. I'm pretty sure that's how this works. The only difference is Hasan's are all Chinese, and Asmongold's is Russian. Unironically true. I mean, it is. That one guy, his editor is Russian, but whatever, it's all good.
So I'm able to get a restraining order on Destiny. I think the answer is no. Unless proof is provided of stalking and harassing as a public figure, when someone is keeping up with the things you say in public, then I don't think you need a restraining order. He goes to an event and Destiny goes to the event. Destiny can't get into the event because Hasan is there. It makes him look very bad when this happens. If he has a restraining order, then he can point to that as a reason. He is just looking for a legal ability to not have to be pressed by Destiny and not willing to interact with him. So yeah, no, he is actually legally stalking and harassing me. It has definitely gotten to that point. And not only that, but he's also openly admitted it on numerous occasions. So I think there's sufficient evidence to do so.
Okay.
I mean, if I had literally done a fraction of what Destiny has been saying about me, trying to identify where I'm at in real time, saying someone's got to do it, someone should kill this guy. Hasan has said enough that is like it's worthy of killing him, and also openly admitting to harassment of this sort. Right, this incel freak who's admitted to being a part of the DGG and being excited to meet Hasan was actually one that was harassed. It would be hilarious if he was like, DGGs were harassing me at the event, and thus I was unable to show up for fear of my life or something like that. Can you imagine? That would be fucking hysterical. So it's really funny.
Nice
Are you really afraid of a gnome, though? No, of course not, dude. I'm just fucking grossed out by him. And on top of that, it's been 7 years, and he's not let up. And his freak-ass audience are constantly trying to, intercept me in the real world at the direction of Destiny.
Oh, my God. Intercept him.
It is stalking.
Constantly,
it is organized
by the
harassment. It's
way.
organized stalking and organized harassment. No other content creator has done anything of the sort to another content creator.
It's the worst
If I behaved like this to Asmongold, you guys would fucking call me out.
Asmongold doesn't leave his house. What does that even mean?
100%. Like, can you imagine if I was like, someone needs to keep track of Asmongold at all times?
Yeah, we do. It's called his house. He's at his house at all times. What do you mean?
And put it on a website? Or if I had said something like, oh, Asmongold deserves to be, X'd, I'm not going to say it. I don't even want the fucking clip to be out there.
That's
what Destiny has said about me.
Private jet and there's a jet tracker on
Oh,
him. He's gonna lose it.
not the jet tracker.
He's gonna lose it.
And this is over the course of like the last 7 years, right?
Right.
Over the course of the last 7 years. Yes, you heard that correctly. For the last 7 years. So, like, Nick Fuentes has not gone to this level with Ben Shapiro. Nick Fuentes has done something similar to Ben Shapiro. He's done something similar to Charlie Kirk. But even he has not gone as hard, as obsessive about stalking and constantly harassing, cyber harassing, smearing everyone and anyone that they're associated with.
Cyber harassing and smearing everyone they're associated with. This is what you guys do.
Yeah, summary of his post calling on violence. Yeah, you have a moral obligation to bully the fuck out of this guy if you've ever seen him at one of your protests.
True.
Don't let CCP agitators pay down.
It's called protesting, buddy. Welcome to politics.
Agitators infiltrate liberal crowds of protest, make his presence as uncomfortable as possible until he's forced to pack up and fuck off back to his WEO mansion. His location should be publicly available at all times while he's live streaming.
True.
If Dan wants to do something useful and still be a Hasan hater, he should create a track Hasan X account that posts his current location when he's out of protest.
Still hasn't done this.
I honestly think you could perfectly justify attacking killing Hasan IRL for statements like this.
For statements like what? What? Statements like what? Hello? Where's the goose? Like what? Like what, Hasan? What did you say, Hasan? I don't know if he ever actually touches what he actually said when he's running through his like greatest hits here, by the way.
Just a heads up, I'm gonna be doing some mass harassment campaigns on every single journalist who gives this guy free interviews from now on. He's talking about me. Someone's gonna die soon in this space. I'm pretty sure there's literally nowhere else to go at this point. I'm not sure who, but I think it will happen. It will happen soon.
Why?
Like that's sufficient.
Wait, why
you
though?
show these logs. You show these logs to any law enforcement guy, they're gonna be like, no, you're on the money. This is over the course of like numerous years as well. Many of this is like recent, 2025 and 2026. So for Asmongold to turn around and be like, yeah, he's just like worried about debating him. Yeah, it's pussy shit. Asmongold is worried about debating me and also Destiny as well. Asmongold is terrified of debating Destiny. He's also terrified of debating me as well, ironically.
It's so funny, the awkward triangle that both Asmongold and Hasan do this. That like they throw me as a weapon at the other person for like, well, I don't have to debate you because you won't debate Destiny. And Asmongold's like, well, I'm not going to debate you unless you debate Destiny. It's like, oh my God.
Enough. So it's pretty sweet that he's saying that. I've debated plenty of people. Okay? People far more intelligent than Destiny. People with far larger of an audience. Reactionaries, liberals of different backgrounds as well. Okay? I'm not worried about debating Destiny. This is just something far beyond that. This is cyber stalking. Asmongold knows this too. Asmongold knows this as well, right? He's just trying to posture this way to his audience right now because he wants to be on good terms with Sexpestiny. Why the fuck would this be appropriate at all? It's a guy who's like, been obsessed. Psychotically obsessed and has now moved on to IRL stalking.
How does that even make sense? Asmongold's obsessed with being friends with you? His audience is fucking massive.
I know. This is like the reason why all of the snarking shit, I think maybe because they stay in the echo chamber so long and their talking points are retarded. Like they don't even remotely make sense.
I could see if he was saying it the other way. Like
if I was trying to suck up to Asmongold, Destiny's just trying really hard because he's trying to get clout on with Asmongold. And it's a better conspiracy theory too. Asmongold is a natural ally of his because they're both right wing. He says that all the time. Asmongold doesn't go after Israel that hard at all, and Destiny's a massive Zionist. Asmongold is one of the largest streamers on Twitch, so Destiny probably hopes that if he gets close enough to Asmongold, he'll be able to slide back into Twitch and get unbanned by having Asmongold exert some influence. Destiny's been talking about going on Soda Poppin' and Nick's podcast all the time, and Asmongold is a mutual friend of everybody's. Like, there's like a billion better conspiracies that you could spin, but he always goes for like the most retarded thing. One of the conspiracies I saw, or not conspiracies, one of the talking points I saw, I don't remember if this was from Gisticle and the Snarker people or if it was on Kiwi Farms. People were saying like Destiny is super insecure because he flunked out of college because he had to drop college because he's working too much, and that's like a huge insecurity. It's just like the most like, why would somebody not to jerk myself off, but like if I'm known as like an online intellectual debater type or whatever fucking person, why would I be ashamed that I didn't go to college? Wouldn't that be like a point of pride? Like it's just like they pick the dumbest fucking things to try to harp on, or like, oh, like he used to be a carpet cleaner. Yeah, and now I'm like an e-celeb that I like. Gee, like what a weird way to even think. Like it's not even that it's a stupid insult. It's like, why would you even think this is like hitting hard with anything? Like I mean, it's so dumb. I don't know. It's just all of it is like so stupid to me, and. The biggest annoyance is just all the protection he gets, and that all these other fucking losers kowtow to it, that they let him like bully me off of these areas. Because like I said, like the only reason why these crazy conspiracies about me work is because nobody ever has to actually see him come into contact with me in any way, size, shape, or form, because everything collapses immediately because they're just so obviously stupid. Dumb. Oh God, 16 minutes. I don't know if I can do this. A chatter in Hasan's chat asks him for clarification about his support for the Houthis. This question eventually leads to the chatter getting exposed as a Destiny fan who frequents H3's subreddit. This is fucking wild. This is Hasan's wildest stunlock in a while.
Hasan, how can you answer a simple question for me? It's an honest question. I'm not here to troll. How can you support the Houthis and say such positive things about them despite their mass human trafficking of tens of thousands of children, some as young as 9 years old? Yeah, I'm not in favor of that. But as far as like an entity, as far as a country that is opposing Israel's genocide.
Oh, everything is okay. I'm not going to criticize them because genocide.
Clearly, the Palestinians need all the help they can get.
Jesus Christ! That was a crazy statement, but okay.
You feel me?
Jesus.
Also, this is not even the Houthis. This is the former government.
Who does he think? How long does he think the Houthis have existed in Yemen? Like 5 years? What?
Ask that same chatter about Israel hiding pedos. Dog. Ask that same chatter about the human trafficking Israel did to Yemeni Jews.
Oh my God.
Like, that's such a funny line, because like Israel literally fucking kidnapped Yemeni Jews when they were babies and gave them to Ashkenazi families. It's a real thing.
This was probably the weirdest fucking Jew shit. I remember when this was like 5 years ago, but when me and Mr. Mooten rolled up on Dan's house and he was part of this program and he has like 3 black babies in his house, we're like, Dan, what the fuck? And he's like, hey, it's a thing. We're doing it right now. I was like, Jesus Christ.
What? Wait, what? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. What's this about my house?
Someone said, dude, what? Yes, I know it was off topic, but a fan of YouTube. Yeah, it was off topic because a fan of yours asked me to ask you, so I did. Okay, well, I hope it helped you understand my position. I would wholeheartedly condemn that. I mean, I condemn all kidnapping of children. Yes, the easiest
all lives
question
matter.
of all time.
All lives matter.
I don't give a fuck who's doing it. Like, I don't know why you think I'm like riding for that.
I wonder why. Why would anybody
I ride
think
for Easy Company in World War II. Does that mean I ride for segregation? Does that mean I ride for horrifying mistreatment of the LGBTQ? Does that mean I ride for women not being able to work regular jobs? No. I just think what Easy Company did during World War II was fucking dope. You feel me?
You feel me? We feel you.
Do you understand?
We got you. Shut up.
Does that make sense to you?
You got it?
Like when you think about the United States of America and its actions during World War II, do you think about segregation, racism, Japanese internment, or do you think about the positive actions that America contributed to by attacking and defeating the Nazi scourge?
I would wholeheartedly condemn that, Hasan. I'm very anti-Israel and against any support or positive support of any group that traffics tens of thousands of kids. Honestly, I understand, but just disagree. I think it's important, or I think it's immoral to support and say positive things about a group that has trafficked so many kids.
Honestly, I understand, but disagree.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to ask you that question one more time.
Uh-oh.
Why do you hate Easy Company?
Uh-oh.
Why do you hate the United States of America's actions in World War II? Are you a fan of Adolf Hitler? Or are you a real hater of Adolf Hitler?
Wow.
I mean, it's number one. Never mind.
Careful.
Hater.
Because I'm a real hater of Adolf Hitler.
So brave. How can one man be so brave?
I think he's Hitler's number one fan, actually.
True, actually.
No, I obviously hate Hitler. Good. Okay.
He might have hated that he failed.
Do you
actually.
ride for the Allied forces during World War II?
This might be like the cringiest argument. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
But at the same time, I'm extremely critical of the Allied actions of World War II. Okay.
Just ban this guy. Get him out of here, dude.
Like what?
Haas, get him out of here.
What the fuck's going on? Is this guy gonna be like a clean Vermont understander? Where are we going here, man? Where are you going with this?
The master of a tanker reports being struck by an unknown projectile which caused a fire on board.
Fake news. Iran's army and military have been defeated. Can't possibly be happening.
Did you just say both sides were bad during World War II? No, I would just consider myself a moderate, but I doubt you believe me. No, I believe you. I'm entertaining the conversation. I'm just very confused as to where you're going with this.
Yeah, like it's just so hard for me to understand like why you think it's bad to support like sex traffickers. Like it should be obvious. Like is that really that hard to get? Why like maybe sex traffickers can be supported sometimes? Like I just don't know how you're having so much of a problem with this, you know?
Do you agree with the actions of Easy Company during World War II? I asked you a very specific question.
Yeah, it's super simple, bro.
Do you agree with the actions of Easy Company during World War II? Or would you turn around and not salute World War II veterans because you would turn around and say, hey, I'm sorry, America was a segregationist shithole during that time.
Jesus.
So I'm too woke. I'm too woke to
the
fucking
Houthis did it.
dick ride Easy Company.
Still fake news.
So you do. You agree. Okay, well, then you understand my position.
There you go. We got it. We got there. He agrees. Just a heads up, what he's doing right now is technically violative of the Twitch TOS. You're not supposed to praise terrorist groups openly, but, you know.
Oh my god, bruh.
Bruh.
Let him violate.
Yeah, I would support them, but if I found out they traffic tens of thousands of kids, I wouldn't know.
You idiot.
Dog.
You don't think the U.S. trafficked kids?
America literally instituted chattel slavery. What the fuck are you talking about? What is that if not the trafficking and
True.
genocidal actions of a fucking country?
Slavery was genocide now. Everything is genocide.
Millions. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
My point is, do you attribute all of that to the actions of the Allied forces when you're making that calculation? Of course you're not. What is this? Oh, you found their Reddit?
Uh-oh.
Creator clash. Bro, Hasan and his friends, which Ian has now aligned himself with, say they avowedly support the Houthis and lie on their behalf.
Uh-oh.
Also, don't bother trying to question the validity of the UN report. It's been verified so many times over by many human rights organizations.
Uh-oh. Take him out, Haas. You know what you got to do, Haas. He's getting there. Hold on, guys.
Who sniped his Reddit account? How sweaty is this lobby? This is the sweatiest of all lobbies.
Really?
Wow, gamer terms. He's a gamer, guys. Don't forget. They're all gamers, by the way.
Damn, bro. They said a fan asked him. Turns out he's his biggest fan. He's like, nah, I'm my biggest fan, dog. It wasn't a lie when I said a fan wanted me to ask you this question as a moderate. It's just so funny to be like, hey, man.
It is pretty epic.
We really gotta reconsider. While a genocide was ongoing,
there's a genocide, guys.
The actions of one of the only fucking countries in the region that did anything they could to try to impede Israel's genocide. What's really problematic is what they have on their banner. Their banner is anti-Semitic.
Just their banner, guys. It's just a banner.
There's Saudi-backed reports that they were doing
Saudi-backed
child slavery or whatever.
By the way, you see, he lets it slip a little bit here. He doesn't believe any of that, right? That's why he just called it Saudi-backed reports. He doesn't actually believe any of the child trafficking or anything. Stuff that literally caused other countries to pull their aid from Yemen because of how fucked those people are down there, the Houthi people.
Why didn't he just say it at the beginning then?
Because he never does, because he'll always mask on until he absolutely has to. But now he's letting it slip a little.
Reports from when Saudi Arabia was implementing a famine in Yemen. It's got nothing to do with their banner. Just a straw man. No, I'm just bringing up common critiques, like silly critiques.
Silly critiques. You believe that? That Saudi-backed
I'm against supporting a
propaganda?
group that traffics kids, regardless if they could do good things. Dog, you literally just said
You support Easy Company.
the American military in World War II.
Come on.
The American government trafficked a fuck ton of children.
Yeah.
Black children.
For
okay?
slavery. And that was genocide. It was trafficking. They trafficked them to a genocide.
So obviously, you have actually been in support of a government that has trafficked millions, entire
billions,
families,
maybe.
and continued to enslave them.
Actively enslaved them.
Yeah, I would criticize and be against them. I wouldn't praise them. You just told me you were in support of the American government's actions
In World War II.
during World War II.
Does this idiot not understand? How can one man be so stupid?
I have the same approach that you do to the Houthis.
We're actually the same, you and I.
We're not so different, you and I.
Important defensive
But
Kyle, very moderate. You can
Are we
ask
just
about
watching
what
fucking
Destiny-
Hasan streams now?
Yep.
his
Outgoing.
content is like, but no.
What?
I made a new tweet. Check it out. You're gonna like it.
Okay, hold on.
One here will give you an honest take
important.
because none of them actually watch his content. They probably saw a single clip that they strongly disagree with and wrote Destiny off as some insane conservative. They probably think that Destiny agreeing with Rittenhouse verdict. Oh, long-term fan. Hey, Hasan, long-term
Thanks.
fan. A friend of mine wanted to hear what your takes on the Houthis are.
Holy shit. Bro, I am so fucking retarded. You're absolutely right. I need my retard chatters to think of these questions. A better question, you should just ask Hasan just the most increasingly ridiculous questions just to see like how far he'll push it. Somebody should ask Hasan in an interview, what do you think is worse? U.S. historical chattel slavery or the conditions in Gaza? I bet he would struggle to answer it. I want to hear him say it.
He would for sure say.
Turns out you
the
don't
US
have
slavery, right?
issues
I don't
with
know.
people who predate on children. Perhaps this was an insincere debate that you posed.
Oh, brother.
Chatter, delete your Reddit account right now. This chatter is European UK, I believe. Probably. That makes sense. Don't you constantly complain about people bringing up old clips of you? Now you're bringing up past comments of mine?
Ooh, damn. Okay. This chatter's still fighting, dude.
You came in here claiming you were a longtime fan who was just simply a moderate. And then we found out that you were defending Destiny
1 year
3
ago.
years ago
3 years ago.
in a H3 Productions
Wow.
post brigading at the behest of DGG.
True, because we were such active posters in Ethan's subreddit.
It kind of feels like you're not just
Oh,
some
and he called me
random
Destiny.
guy.
Uh-oh.
Never said I was a longtime fan. Wait, maybe I misunderstood. How can you support the Houthis? Son was young and 9 years old. Yes, it was off topic. Yeah, it was off topic because a fan of yours asked me, so I did. I would wholeheartedly condemn.
Oh, a fan of yours asked me to ask you, so I did. Oh, Hasan totally misread this.
very anti-Israel. Honestly, I understand, but I disagree. I think it's immoral. Yeah, I do think about that. I've done extensive research on World War II. Okay, I guess you didn't say you were a longtime fan. You just said you were a fan of my YouTube.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna say, "I never said I was a long." Bro, you never hate when people bring up old clips of you because you're always so consistent. No, I hate when people bring clips out of context.
Yes, dear leader. You don't like it because you're so consistent, dear leader. Oh my God, bro. He has like unironic Mr. Mootons. He has people that are actually doing the thing. Holy shit.
Of me.
Jesus Christ.
It's always just asking questions, ask chatters, dude. Yeah, no, I'm against child trafficking and any kind of child predation,
including
Having
Destinies.
said that, when I watch Band of Brothers, a tear drop rolls past my cheek.
He's never watched it, by the way, guaranteed.
And I stand up and I salute the brave boys. Hoorah, baby.
How much longer can this go on for? Jesus.
Regardless of America's history of defending chattel slavery, which is, you know, the enslavement of millions, kidnapping of children, all that.
America's history of defending chattel slavery. Well, we definitely engaged in it. History of defending it is kind of weird. Technically, the history of the United States would be attacking or abolishing it, right? Because we kind of went to war over it. So that's kind of a weird way to phrase that, but okay.
Stuff. Did that comment look finished and whole to you? They probably think the Destiny agreement with Kyle Rittenhouse verdict is evidence of this, even though Destiny said what Kyle did was incredibly stupid, but that didn't take away his right to self-defense. It's the most basic take in the world that 99% of people in the world would agree with if they had a reason to discuss, if they had a reasoned discussion and laid on the facts. But unfortunately, most people are unwilling to look past the headline. Brother, I'm gonna be honest, you are the number one dick eater of a sex pest who operates a cult. It's very clear you're fighting his battles in other subreddits, you're brigading other subreddits at his behest, and you're doing that here right now. I'm so confused. Develop your own independent thoughts, please. I beg of you. Okay? And that's
like, how could you tell this guy was a Destiny fan? Well, the guy comes in and he's like, so don't you feel bad supporting some people who traffic in children? And I'm like, what? Must be a Destiny fan if he thinks child sex trafficking is bad. Must be. Like, Jesus.
That's why it's so unbelievably unproductive to have these sorts of conversations with people like yourself, because you don't have any, like, you don't have any investment in arriving at a reasonable conclusion here. You're just in here to further engage with a barrage of half-remembered talking points that you got from somewhere else.
Half-remembered talking
pedantic
points.
Conversation that gets increasingly tiring.
Pedantic.
That's it.
Okay.
They'll hear what they think is a bad take and immediately write off everything else that explains the take. I would challenge any H3 fans that if issues Destiny to bring up a single issue they have with them, and 9 out of 10, I'll find someone who doesn't know the facts surrounding it.
True.
When you're in Hasan streams, it's time to shut up and listen.
True.
Not type.
It is kind of crazy because back in the day, I think, like the quality of the quality.
Hasan Piker was on stream claiming I'm an Israeli operative and Republican operative for criticizing him. Who do we know who
Everybody
runs
on
DSA
Twitter.
Watch? Is this like a person we know, or
Everybody on Twitter has been losing their minds over this speech. Okay, more. Everybody, Shannon Watts, DSA Watch,
They don't
they're
even
all
fucking
like,
follow me.
this
Fuck.
guy's wearing a mouse suit. This guy's so cringe. This guy's doing a Hitler-style speech. DSA Watch, which is a right-wing operation.
Of course.
Who knows what they're funded by? But basically,
funded by? It's a Twitter account. What do they need funding for? What?
This is a
Dan Saltman is the money behind this operation.
Based.
right-wing guy from Arizona. I think he's like a real estate developer that's behind the
we've seen
account
this.
from
I
Arizona. He's a
remember this.
Republican. And he posts this and says it's run by a Dem. I thought it was run by was it a former Republican? I think he's a right-wing guy, though. It's very clear that he's a right-wing guy. I mean, DSA Watch is just like clearly a right-wing operation,
Obviously.
and most likely a Hasbro operation as well. So,
Of course.
Jewish.
in any case,
Jew,
everybody,
Jew,
everybody,
Jew. Hello? Any Jews in the audience?
You know, if you think about the people that have really done the long con, like the long
they're all Jewish?
beeper operation. No, I was going to say the longest of the cons is me. Like I've been here for 10 years working on converting you to be the strongest soldier of Israel because it's all I care about is Israel. I love Israel so much.
Go on.
And they told me, they said, Dan, you got to work on this guy. And I'm like, he's a fucking StarCraft player. Are you serious? And they're like, no, we can see. We use the Jewish
potential.
machine and the AI from 2000, and it tells us that this guy is going to be big. He's not going to be cleaning carpets forever. And I was like, okay, so what do I have to do? It's like, I don't care. Get in there somehow. Buy your way in. Figure it out. Be there all the time. We need this guy shilling for the Jews 24/7. Israel. That's everything.
Based. Yeah, true.
That's how it went.
Quit
Yeah.
yapping.
True story.
What? Wait, who gives a fuck? Fuck Hasan. He's a retard.
Whoa.
I made a tweet that you need to pull up. Fuck Hasan. I'm releasing fucking snark shit over here. You're talking about Hasan being a retard.
Jew stalker kind of lets it all fly in a snark Discord. I guess Hasan Piker liking his tweets and chatting with him makes sense. Baby sodas and all that. Yes, we need to snark him. I linked her the debate, lol, I guess, so she can figure it out from there. Bruce Klein isn't getting enough hate. Leave the baby alone, Kathy. You're insane. Answer me DM. Bruce Klein would have chosen to be a settler baby. Blood libel with Bruce. Bruce needs to go. Who's Bruce?
That's Ethan's baby.
Well, is he a baby settler?
No, he's not. Unless a settler of fucking Santa Monica or wherever they live. I guess. I mean, I guess
Jews are settling now.
To the Native Americans potentially would be accurate. Dan, is he a Nazi? I'm starting to think that people. I'll tell you this. As I go through these logs, I know they're older, but I don't think these are actually like leftists that are like getting frisky. Like they're racist as fuck, homophobic as fuck. I think they're just like kind of Nazis that don't like Trump. I mean, it kind of sounds like J-Stock a little bit, right? Like he was a groiper, correct?
Well, true.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of.
Yeah.
Yes. So I guess that's where we're at a little bit. Yeah. I don't know.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. It's not good. That's for sure. Right, Moot?
That's true, right?
Not good.
And it is bad. So.
True.
It's bad.
I agree.
I don't know. It's just crazy. You know, the thing is, it hits different when this is like a 100-person Discord server and you got shit like this going around. It's not like you have like 100,000 people and it's like, oh, when we saw it, we banned them. It's like, what are you talking about? There's been like 6 screenshots with this fucking Salvo and Cheddar guy, Kathy. Fucking crazy. J-Stock needs, like, well, he doesn't give a shit. You know, anything. Jew stalker. Out here stalking Jews. Literally. Baby Jews he's stalking now.
That's kind of weird.
It's, I don't know. Yeah. It's fucked. I don't know.
I agree. It's not good. Kind of weird.
No.
What?
Stop saying it's not good. That's what we say when we don't want to really give a statement. It's fucked up.
It is.
It's
fucked up.
not
I
good.
agree it's fucked up.
There's a lot of things that are not good. You know what's not good?
Your mom?
Bananas and ketchup. That's not good. I'm not interested.
No, that would be bad.
No. This is bad. That's not good.
Bananas
okay?
and ketchup, I think, would be pretty bad.
That would be bad. Dan.
Oh, that's pretty bad. Boy, that's great that gets the full fucking endorsement on both of you on that one.
Definitely.
But this one's
not good.
It's bad.
Oh, this is not good. Oh, understood. Sorry. My fault.
Yeah, we're not Jewish, man. Why would this is just not good to us? It's not bad. It's just
See,
not
the
good.
problem is that the fucking Mossad didn't tell me I had to also do shit for Moot because they thought he would have burned out by now. So I don't have him fully indoctrinated. That's the issue that we're really running into.
You'll get him.
Well, you brought me
What? I'm
back,
sorry. You know what's going
motherfucker.
on right now, Moot?
Oh,
By the way,
shit.
you know what it is? He's just fucking addicted. He just wants to watch more Hasan. He's obsessed. That's it. He's like, is this over? Can I go back to watching Hasan now?
I
That's
just
it.
want to watch Hasan, man. You're fucking.
I know
me
you do.
up,
You
too.
get your fucking shit together. Okay, we're talking here. Hasan will still be here when you're done.
True. All right. More Hasan.
Voting history in Washington, D.C. It has his name. It has the address that he was registered at, which is 4009 Davis Place, Northwest in Washington, D.C. It has his party registration, which is no party affiliation. And it shows that he's an active voter, and then kind of his ward, precinct, district information. And then at the bottom right, there's a signature.
And on the second page, what is your understanding of the second page of Exhibit 2? What data does that include?
Yeah, this is the other thing that you get when you request voter registration. You get their kind of base voter registration information, which is what was on the first page. And this shows the dates that he actually voted, which it shows that the record was created on November 3rd, 2020. And the last time that he voted was on November 3rd, 2020. Date last voted, November 3rd, 2020. So that to me indicated that he registered and voted on November 3rd, 2020.
So based on this record, it is saying that Mr. James Fishbeck voted in the District of Columbia November 3rd, 2020 from a residential address of 4009 Davis Place, Northwest.
That's right.
Number 202 Washington?
Yep,
DC?
that's right.
Okay. And then Exhibit 3, can you explain what Exhibit 3 is and your understanding of the differences, if any?
Yes, so number 3, to me, appeared to be almost largely entirely the same information. Again, it has James Fishback as the voter, 4009 Davis Place, Washington, D.C. as the address, no party affiliation, active voter. The difference in this one, though, is that the area where there was a signature on number 2, on number 3, it's redacted.
And these DC voter registration and voter history files, do they include an explanation of what the redactions are?
Yeah, so if you go on number 3, towards the back of the exhibit, they have redaction reasons by page, and you can match up the redaction number with why it was redacted. And in this case, it seems to have been personal privacy, information of a personal nature where the public disclosure thereof would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. And that was their reason for redacting some of the information on number 3.
Okay. So in number 3, it looked like they redacted the voter signature, and in number 2, they did not?
That seems to be what I was, yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
And in your experience in obtaining voter files from the District of Columbia and other matters, is this the course of business that usually proceeds, and is this what the voter records typically look like?
Yeah, this is what the voter records usually look like. In terms of redactions, it's not uncommon to have various information redacted for privacy reasons.
Okay. Exhibit 4, can you turn to Exhibit 4, and I apologize, trying to keep those in order, and tell me if you recognize that, and then what your understanding of that document is?
I do, yes. This is a deed of trust, and I pulled this from the DC Recorder's website, which again is this is a website that you have to have a login for, but once you're in there, you have access to all the information. There's no public record request required for this. It's just all on the internet. And this deed of trust is a mortgage document from Washington, D.C., where the borrower is listed as James T. Fishback. It's dated September 24th, 2021. And yeah, this was, when I was going through, I pulled the mortgage document for the home that James Fishback purchased in Washington, D.C., and this was the mortgage document for that.
So in this jurisdiction, a mortgage is recorded as a deed of trust?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know the exact legal reason for that, but in general, some states file it as a deed of trust. I think it's based on the mortgage company's preferences in given states based on the law.
And what property is this for, and who is the borrower?
So the borrower is listed as James T. Fishback. The address listed for the borrower is, again, the 4009 Davis Place Northwest, which was the same address as the voter registration. And the address of the home that he was purchasing with this mortgage was listed on the third page here, 2325 42nd Street Northwest, apartment 215.
In which city?
That's in Washington, D.C.
Okay. And you mentioned that the instrument's dated, the 24th, when was it recorded?
It was recorded on the top right corner of the first page. It shows that it was recorded on September 27th, 2021, so a few days after it was signed.
Okay, 2021.
Correct.
Okay. If you can go to Section 6 of the deed of trust, Exhibit 4, please. What is your understanding of that? And it's a little hard to see, but I believe it's page 7 of 16 of the deed of trust document, usually down at the bottom right. But
yeah.
What's your understanding of the and the significance of Section 6 in this document?
Section 6 is an occupancy clause in the mortgage where it says borrower shall occupy, establish, and use the property as borrower's principal residence within 60 days after the execution of the security instrument, and shall continue to occupy the property at and later Washington, D.C. You can go on their website and use the address to look up property income tax return dated 2022.
Okay, we get it.
I know his addresses. I know that the 4009 Davis Place.
There?
On there.
All right.
Out of the District of Columbia, and it was my determination.
Can you please, Mr. Bastrick, can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Yes, Thomas Bastrick. My last name is spelled V as in Victor, A-S-T-R-I-C-K.
And you know why you're here today?
Yes.
Why are you here today?
I'm here today to talk about the results of an examination I conducted.
And what was the results of that examination?
The results of the examination were that there was a signature on a voter form out of the District of Columbia, and it was my determination that to a high level of confidence, the writer of known specimens that were provided to me was the writer of the signature entry that was depicted on that voter form.
Okay. And are the results of your examination contained in a report?
Yes.
Is that Exhibit 38? Right before you.
You are gonna put Dan to sleep, dude.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Can you please tell us your qualifications of why you were able to render an expert opinion in this matter?
I have a Bachelor of Science degree in Forensic Science from California State University
to prove that it's his signature.
Sacramento.
All right.
We'll usually wait and finish.
James.
And then, you know.
Oh man, how are you gonna wiggle out of this one?
All right.
He can do it.
Why is he not eligible, by the way?
I think in Florida you have to live here for 7 years to be governor.
7 years?
Yeah, and he clearly like voted, had a house, did everything in D.C. up to 2023. So he's not a resident here. So this is somebody adjudicated or sued to have him basically removed from the ballot. But he's been running this race for like a fucking year or something. So Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, he's cooked. He's cooked then. If it is the case, you have to do it. It's like de facto proof that you don't live here if you have a house and shit in another place.
Yeah, well, and he voted. So if he
yeah, but this is all press. I think he must have known that he would never. First off, he wasn't going to win, right? And he must have known like this is all just name.
Well,
all press is good
but
press, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's like if it's a crime or what kind of crime
Election
it would be.
fraud?
Yeah, to fill out that form saying that you can. I don't know if you had to fill something out or sign something. Maybe that's what they were doing the signature verification on to prove to say that
and
you were
because
eligible. Yeah.
Because he's so anti-Semitic, even the Republican people here might be like, you know what, we need to put this guy in jail. That could be the case, actually.
Wait, is he Jewish?
Fishback?
I don't know. Why the fuck would Fishback be a Jewish name?
Why are you asking if he's fucking Jewish?
Because you just said the anti-Semites or whatever would put him in jail. What?
No.
Who's having a stroke right now? Did I just misunderstand? Wait, what?
You misunderstood, Dan. Yeah, you're retarded.
Wait, what did Dan
Sorry.
say? I misunderstood.
I'm saying that just because Republicans are in power, there's still like there's a lot of Jews here, and they're gonna be like, oh, just because this guy's Republican, he's a fucking anti-Semite motherfucker. Well, let's throw this guy in jail.
Oh, okay.
They're not gonna be like, oh, wait a second, this guy was Republican. No, we're not charging him. They're like, yeah, fuck this guy, throw him in the shitter. See, we take care of our own also.
Gotcha. Okay. Good job.
Okay, sir. Before you sit down, if I get you to raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Thank you, sir. And you may proceed. Thank you.
Do you feel like a resident?
Shut up.
What is your emotional truth?
Good afternoon, please. Good morning, rather. Please state your full legal name.
James Thomas Fishback.
And where do you live?
Oh, he sounds like he's still on Jubilee.
How long have you lived in Madison?
Since 2022.
And we're going to start at the beginning, and we're going to go along. All the other witnesses are shorter, so we're going to go a little in detail here. Where were you born?
Wait, right away in 2022?
He's under oath, man. These retards can't lie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Where is that? Which county?
Broward.
And where are your parents from?
My father was born in Plantation, and my mother was born in South America in Colombia.
And where did you grow up? Start from the beginning.
Manchurian Candidate.
The first condo that I was about 1 year old was on Nova Drive in East Davie, and then for the entirety of my childhood, we grew up in Davie, Florida, in Shenandoah at 14631 North Beckley Square.
And where did you go to school?
I went to Flamingo Elementary in Davie and Broward County, then to Indian Ridge Middle School in Davie and Broward County. I went to Western High School for my first 2 years at Davie and Broward County, and then my last 2 years at Boyd H. Anderson High School in Lauderdale Lakes, Broward County.
And what did you do for extracurricular activities growing up?
Well, not sports. I was a high school debate nerd.
And tell us a little bit about high school debate. What does that look like? What's the organization called?
So I joined high school debate my freshman year of high school at Western in Davie and Broward County, and I was actually thrown in because there was no other room for an elective, and so they threw me in debate, and I fell in love with it. I was a shy kid with a stutter, and so going to a debate tournament every other weekend for 4 years was an exhilarating experience. I'll never forget my first ever debate tournament at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, where we, of all things, debated firearms.
And what was the name of that organization, the debate organization?
That was the National Forensic League that I was a part of, and then I later started my own high school debate league.
So you did it all throughout high school. I know there's different.
Wow, I gave a presentation there.
What were the ones you did?
And was a guest judge.
I did extemporaneous congressional and public forum, and I was actually the national champion in 2012.
Damn.
And when did you graduate high school?
2013.
Okay, so your junior year you won the national championship.
I did.
Continued your senior year, is that your testimony?
Yes.
What did you do after high school?
I went to college. I went to Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., where I studied international economics.
Now, why did you choose Georgetown?
I've always loved D.C. It's been a cool city, obviously the heart of American politics, and studying economics just a mile away from the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the Council of Economic Advisors, all of the institutions that help drive both fiscal and monetary policy was really exciting for me as an economics major.
What was your goal at that time? What was your goal after college?
I wanted to become an investor.
Okay. Was your goal to reside somewhere, live somewhere? Where did you want to be?
I always wanted to come back to Florida.
So you start college. What was your major?
Economics.
Economics. And then how long were you in D.C.?
I was there for 2 years. I did my freshman and sophomore year at Georgetown, and then I left to start my first company called Macrovoyant.
What kind of a company is that?
It was an investment firm that would use macroeconomic research to make interest rate and currency bets on how the Fed would screw up next. So if the Fed was going to keep rates too low, there'd be a number of interest rate or currency positions you could put on. And I ran that from 2015 until 2021.
And the work associated with that company that you had started, was that work that occurred in Florida or outside Florida?
Florida. It actually registered with Sundays. Our office for a long while was at 600 Brickell Avenue in downtown Miami. And so I was living with my parents still. So after college, I came right back to my childhood home, lived there with my parents, and then commuted to work every single day down to downtown Miami.
And just because there are various residences that are relevant to this case, what was that? What city was that residence?
That would be in Davie, Florida. That's my childhood home, 14631 North Beckley Square.
Okay, so the company was called, just for the clarity of the court order, it's called Macrovoyant.
Correct. Like clairvoyant, but Claire was macro.
What's the business structure? Is it an LLC or something?
It was an LLC that managed a limited partnership. It was a pooled asset investment vehicle.
And who did you work with on this?
It was me and my father primarily. We had a couple research analysts, but yeah.
How long were you involved in that enterprise?
So I started McAvoyant in late 2015, and then I left McAvoyant to join Greenlight Capital in early 2021.
Okay, so 2015 to 2021. So let's talk about that. So how old were you in 2015?
I would have been 20 years old.
20 years old. Living in Florida?
Yes.
This is right when you left DC?
What? I don't know how much, if we watch it's 20 minutes left. What is the angle that he's going for? Is he going to try to say that like it's wrong that there's like residency requirements for running for governor or something? I don't know.
Right back to my childhood.
So you're working and living in Florida. Were you living with your parents at the time?
I was.
Why were you living with your parents?
Because I didn't have anywhere else to go. I started my own company, didn't have a lot of money, and so my parents have always been very loving and always welcomed me back to the home that I grew up in, and I live there.
Did you have any other family, extended family, or grandparents living in Florida at the time?
I did. Almost everyone in my family lives in Florida, so my grandmother was the closest to who I would have been with at the time, and she deceased in 2024. She lived in Plantation.
So was there a period of time when you lived with your grandmother?
Yes.
What was that period of time?
That would have been the summer of 2019 up until I bought my home in Madison in the fall of 2022. So my parents moved out. They moved to Washington, D.C. for my mom's job, and then I stayed in Florida, and I helped take care of my grandmother. My grandfather, her husband, passed in 2018, so she was living alone. Again, I didn't have a ton of money. I was living with her, and I spent a lot of time with her, and we had great conversations.
So just for the clear of the record, 2015, you're still doing macrovoyant. When did she become sick?
She became ill really in 2019 after my grandfather passed a year prior, and so I moved into her home at 721 Northwest 66th Avenue in Plantation. I was in the, as we say in the Fishback family, I was in the first unit on the right, and so my dad, after they moved out, my dad helped me move all of my stuff in, my mattress, my clothes, my nightstand, my desk, my computer, all of my personal effects into my grandmother's home.
And what did you do to assist your grandmother at that time?
Well, a lot of it was going to Publix, going to Costco, picking up things for her, helping her out of bed in the morning, turning on the TV, and really just keeping company. So she was ambulatory really into the last 6 to 8 months of her life. Again, she passed in September of 2024. But really just to be a friend. I mean, I didn't just love my grandmother, I liked my grandmother. To this day, I don't think I've ever spoken to a person more on the phone than I did to my grandmother, Helen. And so just spending time with her, we'd watch Tucker Carlson every night when he was on Fox News and watch a number of different shows. We used to watch Key and Peele and reruns of The Lone Ranger together, and just spending time, go to Dairy Queen, our favorite restaurant's Flanagan's, so we go over to Lawn University, just south of 595.
And this is your mother, your maternal or paternal?
Paternal.
Paternal.
Yes.
And you assisted her, helped her live with her. I'm going to ask you a series of questions about everything related to this case, and then we're going to go back through and talk about the exhibits which have already been admitted. Are you familiar with the exhibits that have been admitted in this case?
I am.
And your understanding is that they're all authentic, they're all solid, real pieces of evidence, correct?
Yes.
Are there exhibits in this list that speak to your residential address from 2019 through 2023?
Yes.
And what are those?
They range that from my Wall Street Journal subscription, being my grandmother's home where I was living, to filling out a number of papers, to conference registrations, always including where I was living at the time, 721 Northwest 66th Avenue.
And we'll go through them in just a moment, but to start off more broadly, your testimony is that there were delivery addresses associated with that address, correct?
Correct, for my daily...
Wait, how... I think the thing that fucks him is the fact that he voted. Is that a federal crime to knowingly vote, like in an area that you're not supposed to be voting from? Because I don't know how he gets around that, but...
Journal subscription, for signing up for conferences, even getting clothes delivered, all of that at my grandmother's house.
What about in emails related to companies you were involved with?
Yes.
And sort of taking a step back here from the family situation, let's go back to the timeline. So right before she gets ill in 2018 or 2019, you're still running MacroPoint.
Correct, living with my parents.
What are the two things or three things, what are the several things that are taking the majority of your time at this phase in your life?
Macrovoyant, Incubate Debate, and just family and friends.
You brought that up a little bit earlier. What is Incubate Debate?
Incubate Debate is a free high school debate league that I started in 2019. It exclusively serves Florida students from Pensacola all the way down to the Keys. We have in-person workshops, camps, and tournaments all over the state, and I have run that organization continuously since 2019.
So let's be very specific. How did Incubate Debate start? How did it begin?
It started almost by accident. I became a big fan of high school debate, obviously, as a student, and then high school debate went woke in between 2017 and 2019. It just became insufferable, where conservative students were disqualified from tournaments for saying things like the word illegal immigrant, and the thinking is that no one is illegal, and so they would kick them out for that. And so I started Incubate Debate to be as a competitor, to be an alternative institution to the traditional ideologically captured world of high school debate. Started first in Miami-Dade County, moved up to Broward, all over the state, in-person tournaments, workshops, and it's a lot of fun.
What was the first high school that this organization was affiliated with?
The very, very first would have been Miami Norland Senior High School in Miami Gardens, Florida, Miami-Dade County.
How did you go about establishing the organization in terms of its physical presence in school districts?
I would quite literally cold call. And for the first couple of times, I would cold call coaches and cold call principals and say, hey, we have this free high school debate league. And they were reticent in many respects because high school debate is always something that the sons and daughters of doctors and lawyers would do. It's not something that the son of an immigrant, the son of a bus driver, of a former landscaper would do, and that's my story. And so I was all about creating something that had no barriers for students to participate in, and that's why most of our high schools were Title I high schools, like Miami Norland High School, like my own high school at Boyd H. Anderson.
And the documents and evidence, which we'll go to again momentarily, that show the corporate filings for Incubate Debate. What was the structure of the company?
It's a non-profit.
Okay. And did you do an annual report with the state?
Yes, State of Florida Department of State Sundays certified annual report every year.
And it started in one school district. How big did it get?
36 school districts in Florida, over 10,000 students, to the point where Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch came and spoke with our students. Kamala Harris's husband, second gentleman Doug Emhoff, spoke with the students. Governor Chris Christie, Vivek Ramaswamy, Bill de Blasio, conservatives and progressives alike recognized that Incubate Debate was a true high school debate laid without an ideological leaning, and I'm really proud of the work that we did there.
And so you have students participating that are from every single part of the political spectrum?
Yes.
So you're talking like the extreme ends of both sides of the spectrum and everything, correct?
Yes, including some who said they will never vote for me.
But what is the status of the organization today?
It's active. We just had our national championship on May 23rd, and that's the only Incubate tournament that I've actually missed in 7 years, and it's because I was getting married that day.
And
why would you schedule your wedding on the same day?
You usually have or average over the course of the 7 years?
Gosh, tournaments well over 70, workshops well over 100, and camps there were 2 a year, so 14 there.
Have any of the camps, workshops, tournaments, events, major events, any of them ever been hosted outside Florida?
No.
Have there been adverse consequences to you spending so much time building up this organization over the course of 7 or 8 years?
Yes, I was punished by my employer, Greenlight Capital. When they sued me, they said that I'd spent too much time down in Florida at Incubate Debate, and that was the reason why they had an issue with me.
Wow.
Where would you spend your time when you were running?
This guy's a Florida
So
loyalist.
I had to go to workshops in Jefferson County one day, then be in Escambia the next, Okaloosa for a school board meeting, and then hosting a tournament out in Duval. And so Incubate Debate is a Florida organization that exclusively serves Florida schools.
Have you drawn a salary from Incubate Debate?
Never.
Were you compensated in any way from Incubate Debate?
No.
What about just your own expenses?
If I had to travel to a tournament and rent a car or stay in a hotel room or go to a fine establishment called Five Guys, Incubate Debate would cover the tab.
What was the rough budget of the organization over the course of years that it's been run?
About 150 grand a year.
Okay. Where does the money come from?
Comes from small donors and some larger donors across the state of Florida who have come to our tournaments and seen the magic that happens.
What is your ultimate goal with the organization?
I've always been inspired by free speech and debate. Charlie Kirk was a friend of mine, and so I saw what he did on college campuses all over the country, and I wanted to do that same thing for high schools. And to host our tournament, there's one example, our Summer Debate Institute in 2021 at the University of Florida, and I have a young man from Santa Rosa County, his name is Grayson, staunch conservative, had a rifle on his wall. And then a young girl named Priya from Seminole County, Florida, who was a staunch progressive, who showed up to camp with a shirt that said abortion is healthcare. Those two, by the end of our 10-day camp, were great friends, and they were able to come together despite their political differences, because in the United States of America, we pledge allegiance to one flag despite those differences. And so I'm really proud of the bridging of the political divide we were able to do at Incubate Debate, and that was just because we had a little rough and tumble. We'd have great debates, people would be heated, but they'd have pizza and ice
What
cream
the fuck
afterward.
does any of this matter?
As his lawyer
You're
establishing.
so you have to be honest. How much time did you spend week to week, month to month running this organization on average?
I guess he's going to try to argue that he was a Florida resident and that this challenge to his residency is not valid.
At least 40 to 50 hours.
So then he illegally voted in
over the last 7
D.C.?
years, to the point where my own employer said,
They'll get to that, I
you're
guess.
spending too much time doing Incubate Debate in Florida.
How many employees did the organization eventually employ?
So never had a W-2 employee, but we had 1099, we called them fellows, some of them called interns, but really over the course of the organization, there were about 15 unique adults who were helping lead the organization, whether it was camp counselors, mentors, debate coaches, etc.
And the students who would work with you, were these former students of the organization?
Mainly former students, correct.
Were you trying to grow this to be so big that it would become it's still being run to this day. Is your goal to try to make it big enough where it's a self-operating business?
No, I've always wanted to lead the organization. Despite many donors from Colorado, California, and New York trying to expand Incubate to other states, I never once took them up on it just because I could never get passionate about anything outside of my home. And so it was really exciting to travel down to the Keys for workshops and go up to Jacksonville for workshops. But despite quite literally a $1 million donor asking us to expand to several other states, we turned it down because I couldn't see myself traveling outside of my home to run those tournaments. I was only passionate about what happened here.
So were you ever interested in trying to bring it to D.C. where you also had residents?
No.
Okay. Just Florida?
Just Florida. And no other state, despite us being offered substantial sums of money from out-of-state donors. They recognized what we were doing and how special it was in Florida, and they wanted to bring it to other states, but I just didn't want to see it in any other state except Florida.
So let's go back to the timeline, 2015 to 2019, before you were helping your grandmother and starting this company. When you were doing the McEvoy employment work, where were you spending most of your time at that time?
In Miami, living with my grandmother in Plantation and traveling down to Miami at our office.
And when you decided to start visiting D.C. more, and you've heard the testimony here today, you eventually did purchase a property in D.C., correct?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
It's 1 block from my parents' house, and I love my parents. I speak to my parents at least half a dozen times a day each, and they're still together. So when I came to D.C., I'd love to spend time with them, but I'd also love to have a little place to myself where I could have a little bit of alone time. And so I purchased a property 1 block from there. It was a little 500 square foot condominium in the neighborhood of Clover Park.
Did you ever consider permanently moving to D.C.?
Never.
And why was it?
I had no reason to be there except my parents. In the same way, I never considered moving to Colombia, even though I have family down there, or never considered moving to another state, even though I have family elsewhere. I bought that as a place so I could visit my parents. And for the most part, my sister's living there right now. Before that, a family friend had spent 6 months there. And so, as I'm sure we'll see with some of the exhibits, we talk about electric bills, and you can see the usage rates, which are far, far below anyone who would actually live there full time.
Did you look at other areas of DC or just close to where your parents?
Just where my parents lived, because I wanted to have a place where I could invite them over for dinner. If I was in town, I could easily walk to and from there, and that's the only place I looked at. And, 2021 was an interesting time. The Federal Reserve was keeping rates at 0%. I think I got my 30-year mortgage at 2.7%. And so it was a really, really compelling time to be buying a piece of property. And at the same time, my parents, I was spending more and more time with them, but they only have one bedroom in their apartment. And so if I wanted to spend time with them, I'd otherwise have to get a hotel. And so I get my own place as a result.
Have you ever worked a job in Washington, D.C.?
No.
Have you ever worked a job that was drivable from your property in Washington, D.C.?
No.
And so had your parents not lived there and you decided to live just close in proximity or have a property there, would you have ever just chosen to go and purchase a piece of property there?
No.
Has it been a good investment for you?
It has, and that's just largely because of the low interest rate. And my thinking, as an investor, but typically one who invested in stocks and bonds, I looked at DC as an investment and said, this place isn't going anywhere, Republican or Democrat, whether you're an ambassador or a U.S. senator, you're going to have to move to DC, and that's going to.
Did you ever consider running for office anywhere other than the state of Florida?
No.
And you said seriously in August 25. Obviously, you have. How do you find the property that you eventually purchased?
Zillow, and I just did a search of my parents' address at 4009 Davis Place, and I looked at nearby properties, and that's the one I bought.
Were you being picky or not picky?
Not particularly. I just wanted a place close to my parents.
This wasn't a forever home. This wasn't something that you're super invested in.
No, yes, never, and to the point where it wasn't furnished by me until rather recently, because I got around to putting a couple things in there.
When was the first time you even furnished that apartment?
2024. So 3 years after I purchased the property.
What did it look like for the years that you owned it and lived within it for periods of time?
There was a kitchen island full of some stuff. There was an air mattress in the back room. A little.
Some of your parents' nearby apartment. Do you recall the address for that one?
4009 Davis Place Northwest.
How much time did you spend with them?
A lot. Just over the years, coming and visiting, whether it was a cherry blossom or sometimes July 4th, going to see my parents when I had a weekend off here and there when I wasn't doing an incubate debate tournament. I'd go up there and spend time with them.
In terms of the amount of time you spent with your grandmother or your parents or on the road related to one of your employments, how would you break down your average week based on your factual, just your memory and your experience? What would your average week or two look like?
I would say 60% with my grandmother at home in Plantation, 30% on the road, whether it was doing workshops for Incubate or going to conferences for Macrovoyant or later Greenlight, and then 10% visiting my parents in DC.
20% skill.
Extremely.
Only true millennials will get that one.
I have a question.
Maybe 5 minutes from now, we'd probably also.
What?
As they go on break here. So I assume that they're going to be talking about the years where he wasn't in Florida, and he's going to be like, oh, well, I was actually kind of really here, actually. But for him to say that, wouldn't that mean he definitionally lied by voting in the other states?
Yeah.
And committed a crime?
Isn't that what I said earlier?
No. But I mean, like, he said on the record right now that he's been here since 2022 because he can't lie, right? As you said, he's not going to lie on the record.
Sure.
But he's now trying to argue, like, actually, I've spent almost all my time in Florida, et cetera, et cetera. This is my place. So is it going to get to the point where they're like, okay, so you would say you spent more time in Florida?
Actually, I wonder. I have no idea. Is there like a weird thing for like federal what do you call them? Territory?
For DC being a territory.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Like if I were to spend 100 days in Omaha, Nebraska, and I spent like 265 days in Puerto Rico, is like my residency, could I choose either? Because like Puerto Rico is a territory and Nebraska, I have no idea. Because like why would you even fucking vote in, or you could vote in the local elections for DC, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you can vote in the federal too. No?
Yeah, but they have like a shadow senator. They don't have any representation.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a strange situation. As far as residency goes, it's where you've spent more than half the year.
Yeah.
Right? And
or
you
the
get
most
to choose
amount of
one.
time, I think. But.
Yeah, sure. Right? Like for Moot and like I think there's also another designation when it comes to taxes, right? Because for taxes, places can do it. Like even if you spend 4 months out of the year in New York and the rest of the time in Florida, you're still going to have to pay New York taxes on the income earned in New York.
Yeah.
They do crazy shit like that. But I think when it comes to voting and these other shenanigans, that it's purely just based off of more than half the year. And if he gets to a point here where they're asking him, like, so where did you actually spend more than half the year in 2021? If he says not DC, that opens him up to some shit, right?
Well, that's what I was asking before. Would it be a federal crime? But now, actually, I'm not sure because actually, I have no idea how they do the treatment for like U.S. territories. I don't know if that's like a special or differently treated thing. I just don't have no idea.
Yeah, true.
Good time. Wait, first.
Okay, you're fine. You make it.
Okay, there. When you first saw the Zillow advertisement, how fast did you go from that to a closing?
A couple weeks. Because I knew the interest rate environment. Yeah, I knew the interest rate environment was very, very attractive at that moment. As someone who literally invested in interest rate derivatives that were tied to what the Federal Reserve was like.
Your first year.
Empty. And like I said, in the first in 2021 when I bought it, I didn't spend a single day there. I probably spent less than 15 or 20 in 2022. I'd given it, certain people were coming in and out, whether it was a conservative influencer was coming in DC for a conference, I'd let them have it. My own sister is in it right now, a family friend before that. My mom has a lot of extended cousins from Colombia who will come up and stay at the apartment as well.
Did you have an air mattress there?
Yes.
Where did you get the air mattress, if you can recall?
Amazon.
And did you have anything of a high value in the apartment at all?
No.
Is this a good neighborhood, DC, or is it like an average neighborhood? How would you describe it in terms of...
It's a good to average neighborhood. There's been...
Someone said, no, residency means domicile, which means physical presence with intent to remain indefinitely. If he was Florida domicile first, Florida domicile is presumed to continue. They have to prove that he abandoned his Florida domicile. It's based on his subjective intent. How do you... But does the voting in D.C. not matter then, or... I don't know.
My father told me the other day, a number of Section 8 dwellers who have since migrated into the community.
Migrated, yeah.
Did you ever have activities in that community or that neighborhood or area of DC that you were involved with?
No.
Did you ever go to have a regular place in that neighborhood or area of DC that you would spend time?
No.
At all?
No.
Your Honor, we can continue where this probably is a good time to take a break. If the court wishes, we can start.
If you all would like to take a lunch break now, we can do that.
No objection.
Okay. All right. So we...
Wait, what was the...
Mid-90s, I didn't want to potentially expose her as I was coming in and out of the house. And so I spent much of 2020 in DC with my parents, living on their couch in the face of the worst pandemic in 100 years.
So how much time were you spending trying to build?
Okay. That was probably his own lawyer asking him questions, so this is going to be their cross-examination.
Just filed during the lunch break by defense counsel. It does a...
Everybody back, ready to proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, before we proceed, a amended exhibit list was just filed during the lunch break by defense counsel. It changed the numbering and everything like that, and so the cross-examination I have prepared from Mr. Fishback is based upon the exhibits that they filed and stipulated to, and then I understand there's even a new amended list, and so there's going to be some confusion about numbering because they're just redoing the numbering system here.
How about this? How about if it'll work for both of you? How about we use
I
numbers
believe
for just for
Iran
the
has
examination?
hit
of Mr.
2
Fishback?
Saudi oil tankers today in the Strait.
That's crazy, fam.
Those are
And then
big
at the
buddy
next break, we can
ships.
sort out how they're going to be filed.
Wait. What did you just say? Damaged or sunk?
The report I'm reading says the Yemeni armed forces carried out a qualitative military operation targeting 2 Saudi oil tankers that violated the blockade imposed by the armed forces in the Red Sea. One tanker, and then it just says the names. The operation was carried out by a number of ballistic and cruise missiles as well as drones. The strikes were precise thanks to Allah's grace and assistance, and resulted in a large fire broke out on both vessels.
Fucking
so not-
turtles,
so
bro.
not-
Damage right now? Probably damage, yeah.
The fucking
Doesn't taste like
turtles. All that oil is going to be in the fucking ocean.
It's oil. It's fine. It's where it comes from.
Your Honor, in fact, I'll go.
They got all on their side.
One better. We're going to withdraw the amended list because it was a very minor change, but at the risk of slowing things down in an expedited trial for the very small change we made, it's not worth it. So we're going to go ahead and withdraw, do a notice of withdrawal, and the one that we submitted today, Your Honor, which I think now you'll be ready to take a look at once we have Mr. Fishback to stand, is the one we're going to stick with. So I apologize for the lateness.
Okay, very good. And I want to mention this before I forget. On the record.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by the cooperation among the attorneys. You've been doing very professional work.
Must be
and
nice.
The court appreciates that. Okay.
Bruh, why are attorneys treated like actual fucking retarded children? Are we serious? Like, I just want to say the fact that you guys were able to do your meet and confers, and you guys weren't debating each other all the time, and you guys were very professional. Like, I'm very proud of you. Yeah, because the guy is his coworker. Where are they? In the Southern District of Florida? No, these are probably local courts, right? He probably knows Becerra, and she probably complains every day about my court case, and he's just saying, "Thank God, I don't have these fucking litigants."
Mr. Fishback, we can get you on back here, and we can pick up where we left off. And don't forget, you're still under oath.
Don't forget, you're still under oath. Kappa.
Trump would be like, I'm not under oath anymore, bitch.
True.
So, Mr. Fishman.
Holy shit.
What?
Hold on. I just thought of the fucking sickest Kino basis for a fucking movie ever. Okay, if this hasn't been done yet. Or a real life scam. What if you go to court? Wait. Who's blowing my shit up?
Waiting.
What if you go to court, you swear in, you do like your first round of questioning, then you go on break, okay? And then you come back. But then when you come back, okay, from then on out, you have like a sophisticated series of lies that completely and totally destroys the plaintiff's case. And you just lie, okay, without any shame. Let's say that you get caught at some point in the future, all right? What if instead of you going back, you have a twin brother and they go and they answer questions for you? Is that perjury if it's not technically them? So that way, like, so they can lie, and then if you get caught, like, what would happen to that person?
I don't know.
How would a jury react? They'd be like, you know, this reminds me of the XKCD
What if you say
comic.
that your twin tied you up in the bathroom?
You guys are like, what about if I had a license
questions?
plate with a bunch of ones and L's and the cops would never get me? And in reality, there's a fucking Post-it note on the fucking cop's wall with this guy's fucking number. Like, that's what it would be. You would get molested by the jury.
It could be. Actually, would it be too much to ask the court reporter to repeat the last line so we can do our best job of picking the exact same point?
You're gonna make the court reporter do her job?
Question, did you ever go to have a regular place in the neighborhood or area of DC that you would spend time with, or no at all? Answer no.
So, following up to that, any regular restaurants or hangouts?
No.
Did you ever have a gym membership in DC?
No.
Did you have any clubs that you remember? For example, like a social club, and some of those exist in DC?
No.
And was there any friend that you had in DC whose house you would go to? Or
No
spend time
friends.
at?
No.
So let's just sort of go right into the heart of the matter.
fellas.
When you purchased these documents,
Any bitches?
when you purchased this property, it was accompanied by a set of documents, correct?
Correct.
What were some of those documents?
Mortgage application really encompassed everything. So when I applied, I was with my dad and we were on my laptop. We were applying for the mortgage. We got an instant approval at a 2.7% interest rate. And then right then and there, we started the process to close on the investment property.
Did you ever talk to an actual human being about it?
No.
And was this your first time experiencing that sort of apparatus or application device?
Yes, I had never purchased real estate before.
And did you ever take the time to slow down and read the voluminous fine print associated with the documents?
No.
Now that this lawsuit was filed, let's go back a little bit previous to that. So when you filed to run for the governor's day floor, when did you learn that statements associated with your mortgage application were made and signed by you?
Very early on, it was talked about on Twitter. I entered the race on November 24th, 2025, and I remember that in early December, people were circulating what they said was a mortgage statement, a property tax statement from DC.
And was that your first time having remembered seeing it?
Yes.
And in your own words, what basically did it say that you attested to?
It said that DC was my primary residence, and the ideal framing that they put was that, well, he can't run for governor.
And did you have any recollection of ever having originally signed that statement?
I remember where it was, but my mom was with me, my dad was with me, my grandma from Colombia was with me, my mom and my grandmother were speaking in Spanish. We were sitting at the kitchen island of this new property that I just bought as an investment, and so we were running off to lunch really hungry, and I was just kind of signing through stuff. I don't spend much time looking at my Spotify account, their terms of service, and so I knew I got a really great deal, 2.7.
Jesus. Wait, Dan.
Yeah.
Can you get loans for investment property at like prime plus like whatever the fuck, like home loans? Are they like the same availability? If somebody tells you they have 2.7, I imagine this is basically like your lowest, like perfect credit score, 0% interest rate environment. Are investment property loans normally? Can you usually get them that low? I don't know if these are like special like residential primary conforming loans or whatever.
I mean, they'll pretty closely. It depends on the class of investor that you are. When I get loans, it would be pretty much identical if I was going to be buying a single-family home. I don't think the only difference is some of the places when I do commercial loans is that they'll only do 20 or 25 years. But aside from that, the rate and everything else would be pretty much identical.
Gotcha.
%. I was in the property, I signed it, and we were off to lunch.
Did you ever think that you were obligating yourself to potential criminal penalties for having signed it?
No.
And when did you first learn that, having signed it in hindsight, that there could be legal consequences in terms of criminal law for signing a false document?
Earlier this year, a number of Tallahassee insiders began posting on Twitter that this was a criminal offense that I had signed this document.
And it being, your understanding is it would be criminal because by signing it, it wasn't a true statement, correct?
Correct.
And it, in fact, was not a true statement. You actually were not a full-time domiciled resident of Washington, D.C. at the time you signed it, correct?
That is correct.
And has it ever become true since you signed it?
No.
And was it ever true before you signed it?
No.
And
generally, mens rea for crimes like these, generally speaking, it's very rare that these are like strict liability offenses. So if he can show like, I don't know what this, if somebody has the law, they can like it. If it's like a level of like negligence or whatever, that wouldn't be enough to actually charge somebody with a crime. Or sometimes there are certain crimes where like if you're negligent, it's like a misdemeanor, but if it's like reckless or if it's like with willful intent, it'll bump up the crime itself. So maybe he's just going to eat whatever the penalty is on that, and then but if it was like a legitimate mistake or something, or if he can show that it seemed like it was kind of a mistake, then the penalty's like a fine or something, maybe.
you understand that it's potentially true that Washington, D.C., the United States State Attorney could go look at that document and review it for potential issues and potentially investigate you for that reason.
I understand that.
But it's your statement today that when you checked that box, it wasn't true.
Correct.
And when you got that mortgage and you got this home, you checked it and weren't thinking anything about it, correct?
Correct.
How old were you?
26.
You have an iPhone?
Yes.
When you get the annual
Bro,
update...
is this guy like, I feel like, is this guy like a foreign agent? I feel like this guy's like fucking, I get like 190 IQ vibes of this guy. He seems like very sharp and very smart. He's well spoken. He seems like he knew his job pretty well. Like, this guy's spooky. Jesus. Answers questions well.
Every 3 months you get an update that says you have to update these terms of service. How many hours does it take you to read through all the fine print for that iPhone update?
It takes me about 10 seconds because I don't read through anything. I just scroll down as quickly as possible.
I was joking. For the foreign agent, I meant like, is he like a fucking spy? I don't have any reason to believe he's backed by anybody or whatever like that.
Click agree and then move on.
Prohibited acts. Is this Florida or DC? Because I think the crime... Oh no, it would be Florida, right? Or is this a federal thing they're trying to get him on? Let's see. No person acting under code law shall fail or refuse to permit any person who... I see. False information registering or voting. Whoever knowingly or willfully gives false information as to his name, address, or period of residence in the voting district that is eligible for register to vote, or conspires with another individual for the purpose of encouraging his false registration to vote or legal voting. Well, but the issue is that he voted. I think that, how does he get past that? Because maybe you could buy, I mean, his story is convincing to me, but he voted.
What's wrong with my life?
Looking back, did you treat the application for a mortgage similar to the same you would for an update to some data service you're involved with or an iPhone update to your phone?
I did.
Or you use X, Twitter?
Yes.
And do you read the terms of service updates for that enterprise?
No.
Have you ever stopped to actually just read it, or are you just signing this like most people do?
I just signed it like most people do.
Now let's talk about the voting.
None of those things are crimes, though.
You did in fact vote once in your life in Washington, D.C., correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
What are the circumstances surrounding that day and that vote and what happened?
It was 2020, hard lockdown in Washington, D.C. I was up there much of 2020 because I was coming back from a foreign trip, and I landed in D.C. where I was going to spend time with my parents. It was in late February, and next thing you know, there's this novel virus from a Chinese lab that's shutting everybody down. People are dying. People are sick. My dad was doing Uber on the side. He could no longer do Uber, and so I was stuck in D.C. for most of 2020 under these lockdown orders. Also, my grandmother, someone in her mid-90s, I didn't want to potentially expose her as I was coming in and out of the house, and so I spent much of 2020 in D.C. with my parents, living on their couch in the face of the worst pandemic in 100 years.
So how much time were you spending trying to build Incubate Debate during the lockdown?
A lot of it. Incubate Debate, like every other debate league nationally, had gone virtual. No one was hosting in-person tournaments. The same tournaments that we would have held at a high school in Miami-Dade County or in Escambia County were now on a Zoom account. And so I was mainly doing that from my laptop in my parents' apartment.
Did you ever, during that, this of course is before you purchased any property in D.C., correct?
Correct.
Did you ever regard yourself as a full-time resident of D.C. despite having spent time there during the lockdown?
No.
Was ever your plan to permanently reside there?
No.
Was your plan to abandon Florida and not return to Florida despite what happened with the COVID pandemic?
No, I was locked in place, and I couldn't go home. And so that's why I was really stuck there for 2020. I couldn't go for two reasons. One, I didn't feel safe traveling with what was going on. And it wasn't just the pandemic. I wasn't worried about the virus itself, being a young, healthy person. I was worried about getting caught up in all the mayhem at the airports and Ubers and being forced to do this, that, and the other. So that's what kept me in D.C. locked down for much of 2020.
Did you vote in Florida before 2020?
Yes.
And did you vote before that?
Yes.
So in the year 2020, You did in fact cast a vote in Washington, D.C., did you not?
I did. I voted for President Trump in 2020.
How did that happen and why did that occur, even though you identified as Floridian?
I was locked down in D.C. I could not get down to Florida to vote in time. I showed up to a polling precinct with my Florida ID, and I asked the worker there, hey, I'm from Florida. I want to vote for Trump. Can I vote here? And she looked me in the eye and said yes. She pulled out a tablet, had me sign something. I walked in. I pushed the button for Trump. I walked out and never thought.
Really? Ooh, okay, interesting. Wow, we got a voter fraud story and everything here. Okay. Interesting.
And voter fraud for Trump, too.
Yeah, but he's blaming on the side of the poll worker. Yeah, not his fault because she gave him bad advice, he's trying to say, but...
I don't even... Is it even possible that you could even vote? How would it even let you do that?
Wait, true. Because you have to be registered to vote there. Oh, no, because he said he fucked up when he did his registration.
Okay.
Because when he bought his house or something, it also registered him to vote, and but he wasn't reading it, I guess, or he didn't pay attention when they signed it.
Sure.
In the national
election. I mean, either way, I'll tell you, on God.
On God.
This is retarded. This guy's not going to win the fucking governor's race. So why would you ever admit to anything right now at all that makes it so that you can, like, go to jail? Right? Like, what he's not going to win. He's not winning.
No, but everything he's doing here just kicks up a ton of publicity. Like, so many people know this guy's name and know about him because of his participation in these races. So he's already got a fuck ton of publicity, number one. Number two, there is zero chance that he ever gets prosecuted for any of this because these are federal crimes, and it would have to be Donald Trump that would do it. And this guy is
wait. That part I disagree with. Like,
that's why Trump statute of limitation.
I mean, I disagree. Like, Trump will go after people that are fucking doing anti-Jew shit. He's controlled by Israel. Have you not been watching Hasan?
He'll go after like Palestinian activists or whatever, but he's not. I don't think he's ever targeted like.
You don't think that if a bunch of like Jewish donor class people are like, listen, this guy, you got to set an example.
We can bet $100 on it if you want.
What?
You want to bet $100 on it?
Sure.
On whether.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard. How do we even define this?
Well, I don't think the DOJ will indict him. That would be my guess.
Why not?
And you can indict a ham sandwich.
It's like so perfect solution. Like, what Republicans like this guy? Almost none of them. And them doing this is like, listen, we're not like the crazy fucking Democrats that won't hold their own accountable. Like, that's like the situation that we're in right now. That literally, I could see this exact thing playing out. They'd be like, listen, when we see this shit happening, we go and we act on it. Democrats, they invite them to speak at their conferences. Like, it's exactly the type of thing that would happen. It's like a PR win for Trump.
All right, $100 it is then.
Okay.
I want in too.
Well, I want 1 to 3 odds then.
Deal.
Why would? Did you say deal? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It didn't happen.
Wait, not for me.
Yeah,
no, for both of us.
Why would we give you odds? Just because?
Because. That's just business.
Sorry. That's business, Steve. That's how it works.
Fine.
Did you read any of the paperwork that you were handed to vote for Trump?
No, it wasn't paperwork at all. It was a flimsy little tablet.
Did you use like one of those?
Let's be real.
pens
No
to do
money
it, or
ever changes
did you use
hands.
your hand, or how do you-
Anyways.
Well, we always have the tab running. So when the apocalypse happens, one of us is going to show up at the other's house with a fucking shotgun and be like, all right, time to make good.
Listen, man, you owe me fucking $184 million, okay? You are letting me in. I know you have fish antibiotics. Let me in!
Recall signing it.
I don't remember. Probably stylus.
Okay. And did you think that you were making any sort of legal commitment or obligation at that time in your own memory?
No, I just remember thinking what happened in 2020 and thinking that I didn't want Joe Biden to be president, and I knew I wanted to vote in that election, and I physically could not get back home to vote in time because of the pandemic.
Brave.
And so I showed up with my Florida ID and said, hey, I want to vote in this presidential election. I want to vote for Trump. Here's my Florida ID. And she just, I guess very quickly, I signed it. I went in there, I voted. I was out in about 5-10 minutes.
And you own no property at this time?
I did not.
And you were still, at least somewhat part-time, depending on what happened in COVID, still trying to be a...
I wonder for when, I don't know where Kafka's at. Sometimes, I guess, depending on how you do these civil lawsuits, if you're trying to do like an affirmative defense of like, I was retarded and I didn't know, I wonder how much you think about presentation. Do you remember that one lady, the lady, was it Jodi Airy?
Anthony? Oh.
Is that a real name that I just said? Jodi Airy? Is that a real name? Wasn't this a woman who was like a kind of like a hot blonde chick, but like for her court case, she dyed her hair brunette and she started wearing like fake glasses to present as different because she thought,
yeah, but
maybe Arias.
In this situation, though, like him being a retard, I feel like the only thing that can be accomplished here is that like, all right, we're not going to charge him. He didn't have the mens rea for committing these crimes. Like, that's reasonable. But that doesn't get you to be governor, right?
No, he
like,
just wants to stay on the ballot so he can keep farming for the publicity.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't stay on the ballot. It's like, okay, we're not going to send you to jail, but you...
What?
You...
Well, no, he would stay on the
mean?
ballot.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Well, he's trying to prove right now that he's been domiciled in Florida the entire time. So he has met the 7-year requirement, so there's no way for them to remove him. Now they're saying, well, but you literally had a property in D.C. and you fucking voted there. And he's saying, well, the vote was a mistake. I asked the polling lady if I could vote, even though I was domiciled, I was a resident of Florida, and I don't remember registering to vote in D.C. So even though I voted here, it was like not for real.
Yeah, sure. But that's all fine. It's like, okay, well, that's good. Like, you know, you've admitted to some crimes here. Hopefully they won't charge, but you also have said that, you know, you weren't here since 2022, right? Like,
No. Well, he's trying to make the argument that he did live in Florida the entire time, basically.
Well, they asked him point blank, and he said no. I feel like that's kind of the answer.
Did I misunderstand? I thought he was saying, no, I've lived here basically the whole time, taking my grandma, doing stuff. Like, I drove here every day. I just had a small investment property that I would go, when I'm visiting family in D.C., that I would stay in.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Rosham Kelly made a bad bet.
Correct. And in this case, being a caretaker, my grandmother didn't mean being close to her. It actually meant being away from her because of everything that was going on, given her old age, given some of her long-standing health conditions.
Did you go back to being a caretaker later, post the height of the pandemic?
I did. So late November, early December 2020, as things started calming down, I made my way back home to Florida after the crazy lockdowns.
And how was your health at that point?
It's gotten a lot better. It had gotten a lot better. And I just felt comfortable at that point. There was not the same restrictions that there were, certainly not here in Florida. And so I went back home.
What do you mean?
I mean, we haven't really seen this guy.
Oh, who knows?
Moved back into my unit with her and entered 2021.
And did you think in any way, shape, or form that you were voting in a local or state election, an election different than what you would have been voting for in the state of Florida?
No, not at all. And that's why I showed up. And I wasn't a political guy. I wasn't really tuned into what was happening. I showed up. I knew that I wanted to vote.
For him to assert homestead tax exemption in D.C., he had to provide... Yeah, that's why I was asking about the type of mortgage he got, because I imagine the other guys must have those documents. But I guess I'll ask him about that next, if he sincerely did do that.
Republican, because I've always been a Republican, and I went in there and said, hey, literally, my ID was my Florida driver's license, which I've held since high school. And I said, hey, can I vote for Trump in this national election? So he said, yeah, gave me the tablet, I signed it, I voted, never to ever do anything in D.C. again, and of course, proudly voted for Governor DeSantis in 2022, and then for President Trump in 2024.
Did that poll worker or anyone else at the time say to you, you need to produce any document or prove anything to show that you are a D.C. resident?
No voter
So
ID.
literally, it was just click a tablet, show your Florida ID, and click a button.
That's right. And had they asked me to prove that I was a D.C. resident, one, I wouldn't have been able to, and two, I wouldn't have wanted to. This is a national election, and I wanted to have my voice heard. I wanted my voice to count, but in the midst of a 100-year pandemic, I could not get back home. And so I wanted to vote in that election. I went there really not knowing what an absentee or any of that nonsense was. And on November 3rd, on election day, I inadvertently registered and voted in that election.
And did you...
Oh, so it didn't count. It was the property. He bought the property, but he registered same day. Can you do that with just an ID? From an out-of-state ID lets you do same-day voter registration at the polls with a Florida. There has to be something else you have to show. Oh, I'd look it up. I'm too lazy.
Ever, from that point on, ever attempt to vote again in D.C. or request a voter application, anything like that?
No.
And at that point going forward, were you watching D.C. politics or Florida politics? What were you more focused on in terms of your interests?
Florida politics.
Okay. And were you...
Ooh, you can never recover a ballot, right? Like, there's no way for them to pull his ballot to see who he voted for. There shouldn't be anyway, right? Because another interesting question would be, did you vote like down ballot for any other of the D.C. races? Because that would be kind of weird. But I'm guessing there's no way for them to even know that.
Watching what was happening in Florida in terms of the next election, the 2022 election?
I was watching it very closely.
All right, so going back to that same time period, so then you purchased the home, we talked about the documents, you spent some time there. What do you, and again, we're going to go through all the exhibits one by one for the clarity of the record right now. I just want to kind of ask broader questions. What did the documentary evidence regarding energy usage of that apartment show?
The energy bills that I produced, I went back online to the PEPCO website, which I understand is the energy provider in Washington, D.C., and I pulled all of my statements. And what they showed was that on average, that apartment that I owned had about 90 kilowatt hours of usage. As a former electricity trader at a hedge fund, I can tell you that the average American home requires 800 to 900 kilowatt hours a month. So at 80 kilowatt hours to 900 kilowatt hours on average, that meant that the documentary evidence proved that that apartment was largely vacant and unused for the entirety of the last couple of years.
So as you attested earlier that it was physically vacant in terms of bed or potentially some clothing there,
Did you ever spend a long period of time in that apartment?
No.
And you talked earlier about having chosen it on the fly because it was close to your parents' apartment. You bought it very quickly on Zillow, correct?
Yes.
How many rooms did your parents' apartment have?
One.
And if that be a bigger apartment, would you have purchased a property nearby, or was it a factor at all?
It was born out of necessity. I see my parents all the time. I spent a lot of my summers in DC visiting my parents just because it was a good time. They were kind of off work. And so, yeah, if my parents had a 2-bedroom apartment, I would have never bought a place. I just bought it out of necessity.
Did you spend your winters in DC or your winters in Florida?
My winters here along with my falls and my springs. My summers were really in DC because my mom was able to take off of work, and so I'd spend more time with her up there.
And then she was working in DC most
3 out of 4 seasons,
Yes.
okay.
You have a copy of all the exhibits. Again, we're not going to use the amended exhibit list. We're going to go through these exhibits that were entered last Thursday and were admitted again today to the court without objection. And for the court, it's the same blue binder, Your Honor, if you wish to look at any of them as we go through. But we're just going to go through these in numerical order for clarity's sake. Mr. Fishback, you're familiar with all these exhibits, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you go about finding and getting these exhibits?
Looked through my email, looked through my computer, sent you some PDFs, and they got filed.
So we're just going to go through them. So starting with Exhibit 1, you see this. It's an article. What is this?
This is an article from Mid-Bay News, which is based out of Okaloosa County, and it's about the national champion for Incubate Debate being a young man by the name of William Kiker. William Kiker went to Fort Walton Beach Senior High School in Okaloosa County, and he's been in the Incubate Debate program since he was a freshman. And so in this year, he won our big tournament. The tournament was held in Sarasota. And so having seen Mr. Kiker since a very early on in his debate career, this article was written about his success. I'm reading a quote. Winning nationals once is hard. William Kiker has done it twice. The first time in Incubate history, said Incubate Debate founder James Fishback. He's a brilliant young man with a bright future ahead of him. Goes on to say that Okaloosa County here in Florida Superintendent Marcus Chambers also praised the achievement. And I've been fortunate enough to meet with the Okaloosa County Superintendent of Schools several times up in Northwest Florida.
And how many articles would you attest that exist that are similar to this over the 7 years you've run Incubate Debate?
Between 50 and 100.
And going to Exhibit 2, what is this? Is this another article of a similar vein, or is this something different?
This is a different event. The University of Austin is an upstart university. They sponsored our annual championship tournament. This is an article from April 2024 about how, quote, the Incubate Debate
I think this is like a fake
tournament was
school,
sponsored by the
right?
University of Austin, which was held at the Bowl School in Jacksonville in Duval County. These are photos of our team at the tournament that I hosted and held. And the comment here said, Fishback said Incubate is honored to partner with the University of Austin. This year's final round serves as a blueprint for what open, honest, and truth-seeking debate looks like. And so they put on a partnership with us to co-brand the tournament after their college in an attempt to get more folks to apply there. And so this is a tournament we held at Bowl School in Jacksonville, which I've worked with now for 5 years.
Moving right along to Exhibit 3, the next exhibit is another article, looks like a similar subject material. What is this article?
This is from the Southwest Florida news affiliate Wink News. It's actually about the first ever high school debate tournament that was held in Glades County, small little county, town called Moorhaven in 2022. And so we held this tournament. I personally hosted it. We called it the Dr. Martin Luther King Symposium. And it was dedicated to social justice issues that Dr. King fought for. So we debated a whole host of economic and social issues. In fact, earlier that morning, we had a prayer service. We walked over the tournament. And it was great to be, obviously in a rural county, but a rural county where we literally made history. The first ever high school debate tournament in Glades County. Glades County is a county that's often overlooked. A lot of time is spent here on Leon or on Duval or Broward or Dade. There's not enough time spent on Gadsden County or Glades County or Hendry County, and that's what this tournament was about.
Glades County.
January 17th, 2022.
How long did it take you to plan, be involved with, and spend time in Florida planning that event?
This unique tournament, upwards of a year.
Okay, so between the beginning of 21 up into the beginning of 2022 when this article was printed, you're working and focused on this rural part of Florida to put this debate tournament together.
Correct, and this was the 6th or 7th time I'd actually visited Moorhaven itself to prepare for this tournament. We went to the local middle high school where I met with Summer Odom, the teacher, met with the superintendent as well to recruit students to the program, to help train them, to get them confident in the program. Leading up to this tournament, we actually drove a bus of students from Crestview, which is just north of I-10 in Okaloosa County, all the way down to Moorhaven, and that felt like a lifetime. It was about a 12-hour drive straight. And so in the span of 12 hours, I got to go from the northernmost point of Florida to one of the most southernmost points in Glades County.
Did you end up getting a hotel for that?
I did.
Moving on to Exhibit 4, similar article, or is this?
Okay. I told Nathan I would take him to go get food tonight. I will stream later. 100%. It will happen. If I don't come back tonight, I'm going to send all of you 12 Bitcoins. No joke. Two quick memes. What is this? On God. Representative Boebert running up the stairs to make it 2 votes.
Congressman, can I get you real quick? I know you said earlier we
There
can.
are 50 votes left.
Fair.
Okay. This man touches my tattoos whenever he sees me, so today I finally said that the tattoos are entirely a visual form They're not a tactile medium. They can be fully appreciated through sight alone. Then he asked me out, and I realized he thought I was flirting with him the whole time. Is this person autistic, or I don't understand? You thought touching your tattoos was flirting. You thought explaining art theory was setting a boundary. Both of you were having completely different conversations. But I don't. Okay. I don't. All right. I'll be back in a bit. Be careful. Wait, just in case, though. Well, I don't have to just in case, because I'll definitely be back. Oh, wait, I already did this. Okay, fine. All right, I'll be back.